Welcome. This is live. This is Sports Extravaganza. Thank you very much for making time. Every Saturday on TV 47, we are live all the way till 7 p.m. giving you the best sports cuisine. We appreciate, of course, for making time on this wonderful show. My name is Tony Kwalanda. I will be your captain for the next few hours here and there. And of course, and I've lined up some lovely cuisine, sports cuisine for you, from football to motorsport to golf to rugby to tennis to ajua to kulangumu. Every sport will be represented here in this particular show lined up for you. And this, of course, we line up this show because you have asked for it, so we give it to you the way you want it. Now, just before we go on, we normally want you to be part of this particular show. And I've always told you that this is the only show in East and Central Africa, in Africa, where you win by just answering very simple, opinionated questions. Yani unatuma tu your opinions. You send videos on WhatsApp. Yani unaenda kwa WhatsApp, you record yourself, 20 seconds in a quiet place, answer my question, share that WhatsApp video clip here, 20 seconds on the number, of course, that you're seeing on the screen, and then you stand a chance of winning. And of course, we shall air those particular video clips on this particular station. And you can also call us as live on this particular show. We have we have two questions today. And of course, you know, happy International Women's Day to all our mothers, our wives, our daughters, our girls, our sisters, every lady who's watching this show. Happy International Women's Day. And in that regard, of course, our first question of the day, we have two. Our first question of the day is very simple. We are asking you, who is your favorite female sports personality? Who is your favorite female sports personality, and why? Of course, we're celebrating the International Women's Day today, so we're asking you, who is your favorite female sports personality and why? So send, of course, record yourself, and of course, share that particular clip, 20 seconds, on the number, of course, that should be seeing scrolling below your screen. You can also call us in live on the numbers that you see on this screen. Now, our second question is, because tomorrow is a Super Sunday, Manchester United at Old Trafford versus Arsenal. Super Sunday, big game happening this weekend. We are asking you, what is your prediction of that particular game? Manchester United versus Arsenal at Old Trafford in the English Premier League. What is your prediction? Call us in live. You can send us, of course, that 20-second WhatsApp clip, and of course, we shall air on this particular show. Leo show ni yako. Mimi hapa ni kupiga tu kama DJ. Mimi tu ni video DJ. Hapa tunafanya tu VDA. So, of course, do all that. This show, of course, will be able to air all that for you on this particular live show. Now, definitely talking about matters football, we have a big team that, of course, comes from Kiambu County. Specifically in Ruiru, in a community known as Gitothua. We wacha nirudie hiyo bwana before wanipige kibare. Gitothua. Nimesema vizuri? Gitothua. Bwana, mnisamee watu kutoka Western, tuko na ulimi mzito. Gitothua FC. This is a community football club, both for women or ladies and for men. Now, this team that we have here is the Gitothua ladies team, currently based in Ruiru in Kiambu County. And this team currently features in the FKF Division 1 Women's League in the country. And they're hoping by 2026, 2027, they will be in the top flight league. They also have a men's team. But today, of course, we've dedicated this show to the ladies. And that's why we have Mary Auma, who, of course, is a defender with Gitothua FC. We also have Sheila Kwamboka, who is also a keeper at Gitothua FC. We also have Sylvia Cheruto. Let's go have a defender at Gitothua FC women's team. And also we have their coach, John Baraka. Karibuni sana. TV 47. Of course, Tuko Live. Remember, this show is being streamed live across all social media platforms and also on DStv channel 274, everywhere utapata hii show. Hata ukikosa sahi itakuwa unaweza iwatch baadaye ukirepeat. Wacha tuanze na coach. Coach, karibu sana. Hii team ni kubwa. Uko na warembo hapa. Message yako kama coach kwa hawa warembo during this International Women's Day ni nini? Wako hapa na hii National TV, na of course kuna wale mademu wengine hujakuja nao, unawaambia nini kama coach?
Kwanza asante sana
kwa
kualika hapa.
Karibu.
Mimi ndio head coach Gitothua Football Club. Majina ni John Baraka.
Yes.
Siku ya leo ya International Women's Day kwa timu yangu, ningependa kwanza kuwashukuru kwa kujitolea kuwa na sisi kama team na kucheza bila kuangalia hali ile tuko nayo. Na pili na muhimu sana ni kuambia nawapenda na tutazidi kushikiliana mali inawezekana.
Very important kabisa. Mary, Mwana kocha amesema vizuri ama arudie vizuri na lugha yenye mnaelewa vizuri ama ametoa hiyo message vizuri? Umesikia vizuri venye amesema? Kabisa. Tuambie Auma, yourself, wewe kama defender wa hii team, tuambie shortly in a summary tu, wewe ulianza kuchezea Gitothua lini and why did you join Gitothua? Nini ilikufanya ukajoin Gitothua? Tuambie, tupatie history kidogo, ilianzia wapi hadi penye umefika sasa.
Okay, so ilianza, nilikuwa na passion ya football kutoka nikiwa mdogo. To my advantage, I have a father who also anafanya coaching. So at least at some point I had some support from somewhere. So I played it high school. Then after high school, coach akakuja with his team. I was playing opponent side. And upon the akani scout, and I started playing for him since 2021 till now. Na it was a good thing kwa sababu from the time team imekuwa from regionals till now tulipanda division 1 at least. We made a step in our lives and I'm proud of it.
Indeed, kabisa. Well done. Nafanya kwa mboka wetu, tuambie pia jani yako imekuwaje. Taja majina ya shule, taja majina ya watu, tuambie historia yako ya ball. Wale ilianza wapi hadi ukafika Gitothua, na Gitothua of course pia imekusaidia vipi, umenufaika kivipi hapa Gitothua?
So first of all, mimi nashukuru coach Madam Nitoa kwa sababu mimi nilianza kucheza ball nikiwa class 5. Although sikuwa nataka kucheza, lakini nikasema mimi naweza nifanya nijikeep busy kuliko kuenda kushikana na companies zinazonisaidia kama dawa za kulevya.
Shila, ngoja tu kidogo, tunasikia sauti yako imepotea kidogo, na nataka kutuambie, wacha tuambie watu watengeneze hiyo microphone kidogo. If you're joining us, this is of course is Gitothua Football Club, Women's Football Club. It is part of an entire Gitothua, a community football club that of course has both boys and girls, and these teams of course are affiliated to the Football Kenya Federation, and they do a lot of service for our football teams. Sylvia, acha nikuja kwako. Sheila, tutakuja tu kwako baadaye, wacha watatundia hiyo microphone kidogo. Sylvia, wewe pia tuambie jani yako tu ilianza vipi na ball hadi umefika hapa, ulianza wapi ndio watu wajue. Yes.
Mimi nilianza ball, actually sikuwa nacheza football, nilikuwa nacheza volleyball.
Naona height hata
So, nilikuwa nacheza volleyball. Hiyo time sikuwa nimeona timu ya football kama iko around.
Yes.
Kwa sasa nilikuwa nasoma Gitothua primary. And hapo ndio team ilianza kutrain. We were two ladies and nikaamua kudecide kwa hiyo volleyball ndio kuko na timu moja ya volleyball kama kujoin football, at least niko active. Niko class 6 football, kamaliza class 8 kujoin Madiragal. Hapo ndio sasa nilipata sponsorship ya football.
Indeed. Well done. And of course coach, Gitothua Community Football Club iko na history. As in, lengo yake haswa ni nini? Hasa nilikuwa nasoma hapa mkisema kwamba mlianza of course kusaidia ile community ya Gitothua. Umeona kwamba hiyo kuanzisha Gitothua FC imesaidia hiyo community kuchange from before na sasa?
Naam, imesaidia sana. Tukianza Gitothua mwaka 2018 tulianzisha na lengo kuu ilikuwa kurekebisha tabia za vijana haswa wasichana kutokana na mimba za mapema, madawa ya kulevya na tabia tu katika jamii ambayo pale kwetu ilikuwa iko juu sana. Kufikia saa hii miaka kama 7 hivi tukisonga kielekea, kuna tofauti kubwa sana kupitia kwa timu, sababu tuko na programs kadhaa. Kupitia kwa mpira kuna watu wamerekebika kutoka kwa dawa wakapata scholarships za kwenda kusoma mpaka colleges, kupata kazi. Kupitia kwa mpira kwa saa hii tuko na feeding program pale kwa community, ambao wale watoto ambao wanatoka kwa familia ambao haziwezi kujikimu kimaisha wanaweza pata lishe at least mara moja kwa siku. Vile tuko na hiyo program ya scholarship ya secondary schools ambao tuifanya kimara mbili. Mara moja kitalanta football scholarships, kama huyo kwamba amesoma Madira. Sheila pia amesoma Kibera soka through football scholarship. Ya pili tuko na marafiki ambao wale marafiki wanatusaidia kwa wale watoto wasiojiweza kwa jamii. Amepita lakini hajiwezi kuendelea kimasomo kwa njia moja ama nyingine, familia imeweza kupungukiwa. Tunaweza kuwatafutia marafiki wanawalipia fee form 1 mpaka form 4. Kwa hivyo kufikia saa hii nasema nashukuru Mungu, tukipiga hesabu zaidi ya watoto 50 wameweza kufaidika either kwa talanta, scholarship ya talanta ama ya kulipiwa fee full form 1 mpaka form 4.
Well done for that kabisa. Good job coach, kwa hiyo kazi ambayo mnafanya of course and the entire Gitothua FC community. Mary, wacha nikuja nikuulize, of course mko division 1 na mmecheza ma games na mko na ile inaitwaje vision, kama mko na plans za kucheza kwa Premier League. Unajua Premier League ni timu kubwa. Umeona timu yetu of course venye tuna perform, our junior starlets, our women's teams as well, our national team Harambee Starlets. Umeona venye ana perform. Wewe unajiona vipi in the next few years? Umepanga vipi? What is your vision? What is your plan? Lengo lako ni ipi? Alafu pia tuambie ni mchezaji mgani anakupatia moral ama ni role model kwako?
Okay, nitaanza na plans. For me to join Gitothua, tulikuwa na that vision, at least one day tutakuja kuinua team from step to step. Na pia success haiendi mbio, ni polepole. As long as umepiga step kiasi, umefika pale, ukiangalia nyuma kuna some distance, you're happy. So from regionals to division 1, and probably tuna plan kupanda NSL at this time. After NSL ndo tuingie Premier. So to me niko na plans za kwenda na team yangu mpaka pale juu, because our progress is not that bad. Tuko vizuri sana and we are playing good football. So with time, of which I hope pia miaka itakuwa imesonga, because for girls, wako more of disadvantaged than men. A man can play football at akiwa 40, 30 years, but for us girls, kuna some circumstances you'll just have to leave it for another thing. But maybe in 2 to 3 years tutakuwa pale juu, and I know we'll come back here tukiwa tunasema tuko that Premier ama that NSL league.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Of course, Sheila kidogo angalau tumekupatia microphone, utaishika karibu na mdomo. Sasa tuambie pole, ile swali ya kwanza, tuambie kuhusiana na wewe, ulianza jani yako vipi hadi saa hii, na pia utatuambia venye lengo lako ni ipi. What do you plan in future? Where do you want to be? Na mchezaji mgani anakupatia moral? Nani una watchingi tu kwa PlayStation ama una watch kwa TV unasema nataka kuwa kama huyu player?
So, first of all nilikuwa nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu amenitoa mbali sana. Kwa sababu hii timu yetu wakati ilianza, mimi sikuwa na hiyo plan ya kucheza ball. Mimi niliona tu watu wanaenda wanacheza ball. Nikakuja nikauliza coach kama naweza join team, because hata hii goalkeeper hata sikuwa najua kama naweza cheza goalkeeper. Alianza kunifunza nikiwa mdogo hadi saa hii. So mali amenitoa ni mbali, like in future naweza taka kuchezea kama Harambee Starlets. So that naweza kuja kusaidia familia yangu huku kuinua mahali iko.
Very true. Indeed. Sylvia, na wewe pia, wewe tuambie, of course unajua uko na plans zako, una train, kuna zile vision za Gitothua, but pia personally pia unataka grow ukwe mtu fulani, alafu nani huyo nani ni role model wako? Nani anakuhimiza? Nani anakupatia moral? Mwenye unaangasemanga tu one day nitakuwa kama yeye ama more than them.
Okay. Naweza sema aim yetu sasa kama team,
yes,
ni ama kama mimi mwenyewe.
Yes.
Naweza sema sasa tuko Div 1, tulitoka huko kote regional, sasa tuko Div 1. Tuna aim sasa tuko number 2 Div 1. Tuna aim sasa kupanda kwenda NSL.
Yes.
After NSL pia to fight hard tufike Premier. Yeah. Na player role model wangu pia NS Mangu. Mi wish sana kucheza kama yeye na kucheza teams zenye amechezea kama sasa kwa Harambee Starlets. Yeah, na kuenda pia abroad.
Indeed. Kabisa, well done. Coach, of course, najua kuna wale wachezaji ambao wamepitia mikono yako ama wamepitia mikono ya Gitothua, the ones of course who have gone through the system, the Gitothua community, who have maybe been a success or who have gone in different capacities, maybe ni coaches, maybe ni players, maybe wameenda wamefanya kazi. Who are those success stories? Sababu unajua mtu atakuwa anauliza sasa akikuja Gitothua alafu
kwanza ukiangalia kwa vision yetu kama team, twa base sana na empowerment ya mchezaji na kumrehabilitate through. Kama kuna mfano wa my first captain, rehabilitate from drugs.
Yes.
Akacheza ball, akapata scholarship through that story, akafanya course, akapata job. Sasa hii tunavyoongea anasomea mambo ya physio, ako almost kumalizia. So mi usema twatumia ball kama channel ya kugrow mtu. Tuko na wengine wamekuwa kwa team, kama tuko na Lucy Kisaga, sasa hii ni goalkeeper Kibera Soka. Alikuwa kwetu, akamake call up ya national team under 20. After call up ya under 20, kaonekana na Kibera Soka. Hiyo time ilikuwa NSL, bahati ya Mungu, the same season team ikapanda. Sasa msichana ako Premier. Pale analipwa. Kwa hivyo at least akona kitu cha kumsaidia. Through the same soka unapata tuko na wasichana sasa kama wadogo. Unapata kupitia kwa mpira ameweza kupata scholarship ya kwenda kusoma. Kama si mpira hangepata hiyo empowerment. Ambayo inabidi sana tunatilia mkazo hapo ndo mtu aweze kusaidika. Kupitia the same mpira. Una hizo program tunafanya kwa community. Naweza sema kuna wasichana unapata umekuwa kwa cases kama hizi za mimba za mapema. Muongelesha msichana, anakubali kupitia kwa mpira, anarudi shule, anasoma, anamaliza, alisa ampata certificate iweza kumsaidia kujikimu kimaisha. So through mpira ndo watu wanaweza kusaidika. Either kimpira pale mbele, kuna maisha after mpira. Lazima tujue njia ya kufuatilia list kutoa mtu hapo kupitia Gitothua Football Club.
Indeed, true. Well done for that. Mary, tuambie siku yako for example, unajua karibu nikuulize venye training schedule yako inakuaga, lakini kocha ako nayo. Lakini wacha sasa nikuulize wewe ndo kocha jua kama umemaster ama umejua. Tuambie tu kwa ufupi, of course unajua of course unatoka kwa nyumba, unatoka kwa familia fulani wewe. So tuambie how your day is, sababu unajua mtu anauliza, sasa nikuja Gitothua na niko pengine na nyumbani, how do you balance all these things? Mazoezi nyumbani, mazoezi kwa team, how do you mix that? Tuambie siku yako inakaa vipi?
To our advantage, mimi kwangu mostly I'm a university student, so niko JKUAT na where we are training ni Ruiru. So the distance from JKUAT to Ruiru ground yenye tunatrainia, it takes kitu kama like 30 minutes hivi. So probably we have to study and you have to do your things huko nje. So training imekuwa jioni 5. That yezi kuwa iki crumble na my schedule, because after school umemaliza kusoma, at least unataka uende release your stresses. So unaenda kwa uwanja, you play. Kitu anatusaidia nayo pia ni anatutumia fare. mimi ni student, so I'm not working actually. So ile kidogo yenye anapata lazima anitumie fare, ndio mimi pia nikuje ni push team ifike kwenye tunataka ifike. Yeah, that's my schedule.
Well for that. Coach, well done of course na Gitothua kusaidia watu wetu fare. Fare ni noma.
Asante.
Sheila, wewe tuambie siku yako ukaa vipi? How do you balance all this? Nyumbani, shule, ama masomo, ama zoezi, yote una balance vipi? Sometimes boyfriend. Tuambie Sheila.
Okay, first of all, mimi nimeanza shule last year. I'm a candidate of 2024. So wakati nilikuwa shule, sikuwa na attend hiyo training, nilikuwa part shule, nilikuwa boarding school. So wakati tulikuwa tunafunga shule, ndio nakuja napata hiyo time, naingia training 5. But mimi sitoki mbali, niko tu around hapo. So mimi nilikuwa napata time nyingi ya kuingia zoezi wakati tumefunga shule. Yeah.
Well done. Good job. Jeruto, wewe unakaa siku yako inakaa vipi? How do you balance all these things? Asi kwa nini amsemi boyfriend? Ama boyfriend za mdawish mademo wenyu happy International Women's Day, hata sasa wanashanga wasemeaje? Jeruto, tuambie siku yako inakaa vipi?
Okay, mimi nilimaliza form 4 last year but 1.
Yes.
Sasa kuna hiyo challenge ya kuingia college bado, lakini I wish taingia tu.
Tafika.
Zoezi tunaanza 5 to 7.
Yes.
Yeah. By 7:30 uko kwa nyumba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done kabisa. Coach, nataka kuuliza hii, mna train wapi specifically? Because mtu ambaye anajua Ruiru, watu wanajua Ruiru, wanajua Kiambu County, but sasa specifically mnapiga wapi? Tizi, na tizi yenyu of course mnapiga aje, na partnership zenyu ziko na kina nani? Unajua kinajua Gitothua, usidi Gitothua peke yake, najua mko na a lot of support structures ama systems ama watu ambao wanashikilia mkono.
Twa train ya Ruiru, shule inaitwa Githunguri Secondary, iko karibu na prisons, lakini league match zetu tunachezea BTL grounds ambao pia iko within Gitothua ward ambao iko within tu, iko karibu tuna, haiko mbali na Ruiru town but iko karibu na prisons. Our training schedules was na run mostly from Tuesday to Friday. Weekends na kwa siku ya game, either league match ama friendlies. So kwa partners kwa sasa hatujapata mtu ambaye ametushikilia mkono. Tuko tu na marafiki ambao tuko nao, wale ambao tuko nao kwa ofisi ketu kadogo, ndo tunashikana mkono. Kwa hivyo hatuwezi sema kuna mtu as such pengine ako na sisi amsaidia hapa na hapa. Hatuna mdhamini kwa sasa. Kwa hivyo ni kile kidogo, mimi ni askari jela na najivunia kuwa askari jela. Ile kidogo napata kutoka kwa mfuko wangu wa serikali kinilipa, ndio najaribu kumanage ku run team kama venye amekwambia. Wanahitaji fare kuja mazoezi. Wengi wao ni wanafunzi, pata mtu ako MKU, mtu ako JKUAT, at least pata fare kutoka Thika kuja mazoezi na kurudi. So kwa saa hii program yetu from Tuesday to Friday ina depend na venye game imekuwa. So game imeisha, sasa hii ligi iko on, unaangalia kama Tuesday unaanza na recovery, utaenda tactical approach ya game, utaenda the technical approach ya game, ina depend kulingana na venye mmecheza game ya weekend.
Indeed. Of course, kimalizia Auma, wewe ungependa message gani kuambia yeyote ambaye ana watch? Kuna ile kitu ambayo ungependa kuambia mtazamaji wetu ama msikilizaji wetu kuhusiana na Gitothua ambao ungependa kujua ambao hawajui?
Kitu ningependa kuambia ni wako welcomed kwa our team, na as at for now anything ukifeel too you want to help our team with anything, we will gladly take it, na we will gladly pia tuna encourage pia wazazi kuleta watoto wao wadogo, mainly girls, you know, as in wazazi wasichana na mpira kiasi, unakuta mzazi anaambia mtoto hapana, mpira unafanyia nini, mpira itakukausha, sijui utakaa vipi, unaona. Yes. So na we encourage tu watoto wao like football inasaidia sana. So as at kwangu mimi ungenianzisha mpira nikiwa mdogo, with time nikigrow skills na venye nitakuwa nacheza mpira itakuwa ina grow. At least tutapata pia more chances za kucheza pia kule nje. Yeah, thank you.
Well done, well done. Una 30 seconds, Sheila, kusema jambo ambayo tujue kuhusiana na Gitothua. 30 seconds. Ungependa kuambia nini watazamaji wako?
Mimi ningependa kusema kama saa hii coach wetu sacrifice sana kwa sababu tuko na shida like lack of transport. Unapata tuko na game away kama ni mbali juu yeye mwenyewe anajisacrifice, anasema hatuwezi kosa hii game, anatoa ile pesa kidogo ako nayo ndio at least tufike game ndio tusikose. So napenda kusema kama kuna mtu ambaye anatazama angependa atusaidie hata kama ni sponsor kidogo, at least
Safi, thank you. Cheruto, uko na 29 seconds.
Okay, first, I'm the captain of my team. So, naweza wish our girls and all women's happy International Women's Day. And kitu mimi naweza ambia tu watu, especially the ladies, discipline.
Yes.
Discipline tu ndio itakufikisha place unataka. Kama hizo goals ni discipline itakufikisha penye una aim to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Asante. John, uko na 20 actually 15. Tukimalizia.
Mi yangu tu ni kuomba kama kuna wafadhili wahisani wenye wanaweza tusaidia kwa funding. Mostly challenge kubwa inakuwa ni funding kwa sports. Ya pili kwa jamii. Sana sana wanapata kuna societal challenges. Huyu ni msichana, ati msichana hafai kucheza mpira. Jaribu kuachilia wasichana waje uwanjani. Ya tatu management. Both sisi team managers na federation jaribu kuangalia sana kwa mpira wa wasichana.
Indeed. Asante sana John Baraka, head coach wa Gitothua FC women's team. Of course wako na wing ya maboys. Of course then we have Sylvia Cheruto ambaye ni captain wa timu ya Gitothua ya warembo wako division 1 ya FKF. Asante. Then of course Sheila Kwamboka, thank you very much for making time. Mary Auma, asanteni sana community ya Gitothua FC. Ndio kupiga hiyo shughuli, nitakuja kuwatembelea kwa ground hivi karibuni. And of course to our very ladies wale pia ku make time, happy International Women's Day. Thank you for making time. We are taking a very short break. This is Sports Extravaganza. Up next, of course, we have lined up a lot of more sports for you. Don't go away.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's mind. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water?
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls And even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a PAPS medal.
If you are 40, 45, 50, going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwe watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects.
Welcome back. We are live. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. Thank you for staying with us. We appreciate, of course, you made the time. After football, now we get onto golf. On the 20th and on the 20th, 21st, 22nd of this month, that is the month of March, there is a big golfing extravaganza that will be happening at Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort, where Kenya will be defending their Victoria Cup Golf Trophy. Kenya has won it all these years that I can remember since this particular event started. 3-time consecutive champions of the Victoria Cup. And of course, we have a 10-strong contingent team that will be representing Kenya in the Victoria Cup from the 20th to the 22nd. And of course, in this regard, I have the chairman of the Kenya Golf Union, my very good friend David Ndungu, who is in the house. Karibu sana, Chairman. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Tony.
Asante. I also have the Vice Chairman and Tournaments Director, my good friend as well, Chris Kinuthia. Karibu sana, Chris.
Asante sana.
The KGU Vice Chairman. And also we have the Director of Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort, Milind Patel. Karibu.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time, gentlemen. Chairman, we are into it. You have selected a 10-man team. We are just fresh from the magical Kenya Open. The captain of the Kenya Open is also the captain of the Victoria Cup. How was the selection of this team from all the amateur golfers that we have in the country?
Okay, great. Good to be back, Tony.
Karibu.
We have a very straightforward and a very predictable team selection policy.
Yes.
Over the years, with many sports, and I know not just golf,
yes,
but we as golf have also suffered in past years where there were a lot of complaints and issues around how the team is selected.
Yes.
There's obviously disappointment when people who expect to be in the team don't make the team.
Yes.
So a few years ago, we thought it important to actually come up with a very clear and comprehensive policy around how teams are selected. So that's available actually on our website. Anybody who really needs to find out how does a team get selected is able to see our policy there. So for this particular one, because it's the one team that we have the largest number of players,
yes,
10 in total, what we did is that we used the 2024 Order of Merit from our Kenya Amateur Golf Championship Series.
Yes.
And we picked the top 5 players in that Order of Merit. We then picked the top 2 juniors from the JGF Order of Merit to make 7. And then the last 3 were selected based on their positioning in the 2025 Order of Merit after the Great Rift Open, which we held, I believe it's 3 weeks ago now. So that's how the last 3 players were selected to make 10. Yeah, so the initial 10 were picked from that.
Yes.
From that initial 10, 2 unfortunately were not available. And so again, we go down that order. So we pick the next player in the KAGC Order of Merit and the next player in the JGF Order of Merit. And so those 2 became the replacements for the 2 who dropped off.
Oh, well done. And of course, it's being hosted at a very picture check. I'm looking for that word. Forgive my tongue. Picture. A very scenic and beautiful golf course as a par 72. And we have the director here to, of course, to share with us. And they've made very significant strides, Mr. Patel, of course, really to host an international tournament of this caliber. I'm sure that that puts Mount Kipipiri Golf Resort really at loggerheads with the big boys in the market, and they just come in recently. How is this particular resort, Golf?
It's very exciting. Yes. We've worked hard. The course is now ready. It's a championship level course. Yes. So we're excited. The scenes, obviously, at Mount Kipipiri, the mountains, the lakes, and the greens are one point where the last few tournaments, everyone's had a real struggle about them. So we're excited to see how it will be on the Victoria Cup.
And I've seen a lot of tournaments that, of course, have been held there. My good friend Kamau Nyabwengi recently did the Yen Golf particular tournament there. Some of the very notable events or tournaments that you've hosted at Mount Kipipiri.
Yeah, we had the Yen Golf. That was a great success. It was good.
Yes.
We also had the Mwema Challenge last year in December.
Yes.
Which was also really good to promote the course and everything. So, yeah, we're looking forward to what's to come now.
Well done. Let me bring in the vice chairman of Kenya Golf Union, and also the tournament's director, Bwana Chris Kinuthia. Chris Kinuthia, of course, you've actually selected some juniors. There's one, Anyen, forgive me, one from Vet Lab, one from Golf Park. What does this mean, of course, to the growth of golf in the country, and now that we're putting in our youngsters really now to get a chance to rub shoulders with these very experienced hands, and of course give them a feel of the Victoria Cup?
Thank you, Tony.
Karibu.
So Kenya Golf Union has a subsidiary called Junior Golf Foundation.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of emphasis. There's a lot of emphasis that is already there, and funding for junior golf, because we all appreciate the fact that if we are going to compete at the level we saw during MKO, we need to work on our juniors. So actually, we are excited as a union that almost 50% of the team is made up of juniors. Of course, we have the under 18 who are Kevin Ayen, Sevi Soni, and the other gentleman.
Yes.
The other 2 who are Elvis Muigwa and Daniel Kiragu are just above junior. So I think for us, the emphasis is going to be on juniors going ahead, yes, and expect a lot more going ahead.
Very true. Chairman, why Kipipiri? Why Mount Kipipiri? Is it a tactic to destabilize our opponents. I'm sure they are watching. Chairman.
I actually thought that would be your first question. Why Mount Kipipiri? As you said, first of all, it's the newest kid on the block, so it's a newest addition to the list of affiliated courses with the Kenya Golf Union. But I mean, that really is not the reason. But it is also an amazing facility. Milind and the team have done a stellar job in putting together that golf course. It presents a very good and unique challenge. So I can assure you that that course has not been picked to destabilize the opponents, Uganda, because in a sense we may be shooting ourselves in the foot because our own players are not used to it. Nobody is used to it. It's a very, very new course. But it's only new in the sense that it has only just recently been rated, and so meaning that it can now host tournaments of any caliber. But the course has actually been in place for a couple of years. So it's matured well enough, it's playing well, and we felt, besides being the newest kid on the block, this would be a good way to support the facility. I think hosting an event like this will give them a lot of good visibility, something that I'm sure the Vice Chairman might talk about a bit later is a subsidiary event, which is pretty much for the fans and the supporters that will come and watch. So it gives an opportunity to other golfers to come and also get to experience it. So that is pretty much the thinking behind why we selected Mount Kipipiri, because we believe it will give both teams the sufficient challenge that they need for a contest like this.
True. And Milind, of course, besides golfers, I'm sure you have something, of course, the Vice Chair will speak about later on as well, subsidiary. But as Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort, what other things for those non-golfers, because I'm sure you attract as well that kind of caliber of people. What is in store for them? I'm sure maybe you might want to teach them or introduce them to the sport or have other things that they might indulge in, just besides the golf.
Besides the golf, right now the focus at Kipipiri is the golf. We have a very unique clubhouse as well, a state-of-the-art clubhouse.
Yes.
That is going to attract a lot of people. The views from the clubhouse are very nice. For the future plans, we have a lot of the new sports coming in their facilities for paddle. We'll have football fields, we'll have tennis. So as of now, it's just the golf course main focus, but yeah, in a few years, there'll be a lot more.
And why golf? Why golf? I'm sure golf is... Why did Mount Kipipiri choose golf?
So when we first got that land, we saw the scenes. There's not many courses in Kenya with the scenery that we have over there. So we thought it would be a very unique selling point to put up a course there.
Yes.
And our partners also are very passionate golfers, so they decided, let's put up a golf course.
Good. Now, of course, Nyandarua County, yes, of course, that's where that Mount Kipipiri is. Vice Chair Bona Chris, the subsidiary event, of course, what Chair had, of course, initially alluded to. Please share with us about that, because I'm sure most people are thinking, our amateurs are the only ones there, so I'll just have to remain in Nairobi and watch them. But of course, what is in store for the others who might just want to be part of the whole extravaganza? I'm sure you've arranged an entire itinerary for everyone will be accommodated.
Thank you, Tony. If you allow me, I'll give the whole breakdown of the event right from the beginning.
Yes.
So on Wednesday, we have a practice session with Kenyans and Ugandans. Then in the evening at 4, we have a flag raising ceremony. On Thursday, we have two games. In the morning, we have a foursome format. 4 teams. We are doing the Ryder Cup format. Then in the afternoon, we are going to have 4-ball format, 4 games each. Same on Friday. Then on Saturday morning, we are going to have a subsidiary. A subsidiary is going to be open to all golfers who are not elite amateurs, like me and you. And the people.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there are only 76 slots. And so once we open up the booking, it would be prudent. The director of Kipipiri can tell you the course fills up very quickly. So we're going to have a subsidiary open to me and you on first come, first serve basis. That will start early in the morning so that we can have the final games, which are singles, which are going to be done in the afternoon. The game is based on a Ryder Cup format. If you're a golfer, you watch Ryder Cup, so it's the same format and the same kind of arrangement. So the subsidiary, and you're all welcome, but first come, first served.
Indeed. Well done. Of course, now you know, for some football, I'll be interested. I'm very tempted. Just need to seek permission from my bosses so that I don't get fired on Sunday morning after playing on Saturday morning. I'll seek permission, of course. And Chairman, Victoria Cup. Most people, someone in Nyeri, in the middle of Nyeri, has never had Victoria Cup. And of course, Victoria Cup has so much significance in our golfing calendar in the country. What does that exactly mean to us in terms of our golf? Someone who is right there in the middle of Nyeri town, who has never had golf, but they've had Victoria Cup, and of course, they would like to know exactly what it is. I just had to ask that for the benefit of my viewer.
And it's definitely very helpful. This is a contest between Kenya and Uganda. And we've had the same going in various other sports. We have, for example, Elgon Cup in rugby, which is exactly the same thing. Kenya playing versus Uganda. It's an annual derby that happens. And so about 10 years ago, actually a bit over 10 years ago now, I think, is when, it was about 10 years ago, when the idea was first mooted to also come up with a specific tournament played, as VC said, in Ryder Cup format between Kenya and Uganda. And for those that may not also be familiar with Ryder Cup or the format that is used, it's match play between the two countries. So the first event was played in 2016 here in Nairobi at the Muthaiga Golf Club. And so it's been an annual engagement between ourselves and Uganda, and each country hosts in alternate years. So last year we were in Uganda, we're back in Kenya this year, and next year we'll go back to Uganda again. There's only been 3 years between 2016 and now when the tournament has not been played. So 2020 and 2021, obviously due to COVID. And also in 2023, there were some logistical issues that made it impossible to host the event, where Uganda were the hosts. So we resumed last year, and we're back again to Kenya this year. The goal is also to spread it out. In Kenya, it's been hosted at Muthaiga, it's been hosted at VetLab, it's been hosted at Limuru, and this time around we're going to Kipipiri.
Well done. And of course, I'll rope in the Vice Chair to share with us, of course, some of the other steps you're doing as a union, of course, in terms of promoting the game across the country. And of course, now you're already in Nyandarua. But let me bring in, first of all, Milind. Milind, of just what they had mentioned, what the Vice Chair mentioned about it's Nyandarua. So I'm sure, I know people are very, very engaged. They can actually decide to drive from here at 3 a.m. in the morning and go and play there. But I'm sure Mount Kipipiri has solutions for those people who are thinking, I'm waking up to play at 7. Do I need to drive at 2 a.m.? I'm sure Mount Kipipiri has a solution to those kind of questions for the golfers, both the amateurs and of course the social golfers.
Right now we do have some accommodation. We have some apartments there, which are 2-bedroom apartments. Which are
how many? Are they already taken out? Because I'm sure Chairman has already taken like...
They're all, he's taken all of them. Yeah, but in the future, there's a plan for a hotel and a lot more accommodation. So hopefully in the future, we can host events like this and even bigger ones.
Indeed. And of course, I'll ask also how you as Mount Kipipiri are promoting golf within that community. I'll come to you there. But let me, of course, bring in the Vice Chair. The other efforts that Kenya Golf Union is doing to spread and popularize the sport in Kenya.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tony. So the Kenya Golf Union has a very big calendar of events right now. As we are talking, there's an event happening at Windsor, a KGC event, Kenya Amateur Golf Championship event. We have 31 on the calendar, and they are all over the country. We have a very big calendar from JGF, the Junior Golf Foundation, and a similar calendar from Kenya Ladies Golf Union. That is in terms of tournaments. In terms of outreach and training, which is really the mandate for juniors by JGF, we make sure that JGF is equipped and funded to make sure they have outreach. We have a program, a schools program, and we are working very hard with the ministry to include golf in the curriculum of in your education curriculum as part of CBC. So we are working very hard to make sure golf is one of the subjects that is studied, because our main aim is to demystify the game and try to shed the skin we have of being an elite sport. Because if you go to other countries, elite golf countries like South Africa, the UK, the US, and most of Europe, golf is a game for everybody. So that is what we are trying to promote, as we also work very hard to promote the health benefits.
Yes.
Health and environmental benefits that the game has. So we have quite a program which we can talk about the whole day. Yeah,
that's true, of course. Chairman, of course, I will rope you into to now also give us the details in terms of in the regions how KGU has ensured that the locals or the residents of the different counties have access to golf. I'll bring you in that, but first let me bring Milind into this. I'm just observing the protocol as a golfer. You know, you have to wind up with the chairman, otherwise I'll have problems with my chairman. Milind, in the community, of course, you live in a community. You're in a community, and I'm sure part of the reasons why you started golf there, I'm sure, is because the community must be involved. What are some of the benefits that the community is getting from Mount Kipipiri Golf Resort?
So since the start of the project, we've been supporting the community around us. We've helped with schools, we've helped with water lines. So we've already had a really good relationship with the community. Now with Kipipiri starting, we've opened up a lot of employment for them. Our target for caddies and stuff is locals. We're not bringing in people from outside. So yeah, it's been a good relationship with the community, which has helped us as well in terms of security and safety. So it's been good.
Well done. Chairman, of course, just carrying on from what the Vice Chair has mentioned about how popularizing the sport in the country, in the regions, Mombasa, Kakamega, Kisumu, Eldoret, Trans Nzoia, these areas, somebody who is in these areas and they want to access golf, whether directly or indirectly, be part of it, maybe some of the pointers where they can actually make touch base.
On that, there has been an ongoing desire, if I may put it that way, right now, to find a way to work with the county governments to set up public facilities. We quite haven't gotten there. There has been in years past a lot of talk about public golf courses, but even before we get to public golf courses, our desire as a union would be to first set up even training facilities, which are much easier to start with.
Yes.
So your standard golf range, which is kind of very easy to put up, that would be accessible to anybody that can come in. We have a few trainers who would help beginners, someone who's never touched a club in their life, come in and actually have their first attempt at hitting a golf ball.
Yes.
But before those ones come up, we've continued working closely with our affiliate clubs to, as much as possible, support the schools around them. That's the program that the VC mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And I'm pleased to mention that a lot of clubs have already done that.
Okay.
They have arrangements with the schools within their vicinity, which allows interested kids from those schools come in once or twice a week and using the local club pros, be able to get some training, basic training on how to play, a bit about the rules. And so when these kids get older and graduate from primary school or high school, they at least have some curiosity about what is this game about and how can I continue playing it. And I'm glad to say that we've seen graduates, if I may call it that way, of those kind of initiatives move on to not only play golf, but to take up other careers in the game. A number of them come on board as course maintenance.
Yep.
They study greenkeeping
Yes.
and golf administrators. So some of this interest begins from the fact that they were exposed to the sport when they were in their local schools.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you very much, Chairman, Kenya Golf Union, David Ndungu. The Vice Chairman of Kenya Golf Union and Tournaments Director, Chris Kinuthia, and also the Director of Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort, Mr. Milind Patel. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for making time really to come on Sports Extravaganza to share the preparations that are happening for the Victoria Cup 2025 tournament that will be taking place in Nyandarua County at Mount Kipipiri Golf and Resort from the 20th to the 22nd of this month. Personally, of course, I've already been invited. I already have my own suit, courtesy of Mr. Milind in Chakuseti. So mwanze kutafuta tu mapema, nitakuja huko, of course, to be part of that subsidiary on Saturday. And of course, to support the entire team that includes our captain, my good friend John Lejirma from Railway Golf Club, Daniel Kiragu from Muvaiga Golf Club, Sevi Sonia Jr. from Sigona Golf Club, Elvis Mwigua from Kiambu Golf Club, Josephat Rono from Golf Park Golf Club, Eli Barno from Nandi Bears Golf Club, Rafael Lemingani from Golf Park Golf Club, Kevin Anyen Jr. from Golf Park, and of course Krish, Shah from Vetlab Sports Club, Ebil Omolo from Vetlab Sports Club. So you can see, of course, it has a national look, and they'll be taking and, of course, battling with Uganda from the 20th to the 22nd. Thank you, gentlemen. All the best to our team. I'll be there to watch and be part of the subsidiary and, of course, make money from Milind, who will be playing with me. So I'll have to take that money. Asante sana, gentlemen. We're taking a very short break. We'll be back, of course, with more, some of it about what is happening in Uganda, where our national junior under-17 women's team is playing with their national team in a World Cup qualifier game. After this very short break. Don't go away.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home, do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water.
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget, regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50, going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Jiunge nasi tunapoangazia safari za viongozi bora. Kutoka kwa ushindi mkubwa hadi masomo magumu.
Wakati wetu kwamba wasichana si wa kusoma, ni wa kuolewa, ng'ombe ipatikane, wazazi wakuwe watajiri.
Tunashughulikia yote.
I wish I were a better investor.
My parents taught me how to look for things for myself.
Tazama Mfahamu Kiongozi, ambapo kila kipindi kimejaa maarifa, mikakati na hadithi za kukuza azma yako.
For me to succeed, I have to fight.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water.
Yes. Should be able to see the other side.
We are live. This is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. Thank you for staying with us every Saturday. Remember, on TV47, we give you all the best sports cuisine from 4 to all the way to 7. We had football, we've had golf. Now we are shifting and changing gears, literally, into motorsport. Of course, ahead of the 2025 World Rally Championship Safari Rally, the third leg of the global WRC calendar, which, remember, is the most popular motorsport event on the WRC calendar. That has been proven by numbers. And of course, on this particular afternoon or evening, if you like, wherever you are, or morning, wherever you're watching this particular show from, I am honored to have, in fact, I was looking at, he is, I think, a 3-time or a 4-time or a 5-time Junior Africa Rally champion. He is also, I read so many, he is also, I think in history, has represented Kenya in the Junior World Rally Championship in 2023. Niko na notes. He's also one of the few motorsport drivers in the country who are setting up a unique motorsport museum, one of its own kind in Kenya. I have more notes. He also has a team manager by the name Kimaru Washira. Hamza Anwar, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you really for making time from your very busy schedule.
Absolutely, my pleasure and my honor.
Karibu. Of course, next to him is a gentleman who jogs daily and does 10 kilometers every day. I don't see that on him right now. He's, of course, had taken almost a two-year break from motorsport. One, of course, our top drivers back before the 2 years expired. He is also one of, remember we just had golf, the vice chairman. He also took a break for 2 years to play golf. Hey, Bwana, give me your money. Please, welcome, assist me to welcome my good friend Evans Kabisi. Part of the KCB racing team will be, you can imagine he sent his navigator to open the way to create the platform as a curtain raiser. Sasa ati driver na anakuja the week later on. Absalom Maswani, please show me your job description. Welcome, Evans Kabisi, to our show.
Thank you. Thank you
for
very much.
making time. Of course, he is a very busy man. I think based in Mombasa currently, but he flew in for this show. Thank you, Evans. Ama nimechoma.
Haujachoma.
Asante.
Iko sawa.
Asante sana. Let's get into it, of course. Gentlemen, thank you for making time. WRC is here. Hamza, well done to your accolades, your milestones. I have like 6 pages of notes that my producer was able to give us. And then, of course, one thing that was striking me most was the cost of just doing one event, to prepare an event. I'm calculating it, 80,000 USD to around 100,000 USD. If I calculate that, that's roughly 15 million Kenya shillings. About 20.
Possibly, yes.
That is minimum.
Yeah, for the WRC. For the World
how are you managing without support, Hamza?
To be honest, currently we're not managing. We're just scrounging, as I say. I'm a positive character, so I'm trying to be positive. We've paid our tires, our fuel. We're really desperately looking for help. I'm not with Safaricom this year. I think they're focusing on something else this year.
Yes.
But we're hopefully looking for new partnerships and new ventures to let's do something together. Let's do something new. And we're the future of the sport. We're the youth. And you never know. I believe in God's plan. So let's see how it goes.
You'll be up against Solberg, the defending champion of Arsham.
Yes, we will.
What are some of the lessons you picked up from this very enthusiastic, very unique driver who has actually taken up that category? Some of the things you picked up from him as personal.
We picked a lot of things, but the funniest thing was he was explaining to me the aero when he flies in the sky. That time he was driving a Skoda, and he said the aero isn't that good enough, that the car keeps nosing down. So I was like, oh, that's quite a technical thing to describe.
Yes.
But no, he has a flat-out technique, which is kind of my technique. Both of us here, we're known for being explosive.
Yeah.
But he has a new opportunity this year with Toyota, and so do I. Just stepping into the Rally 2 category. So I'm going to be humble, and I'm going to see where we're going to be towards the end of the event.
And of course, now Hamza Annual Racing team or just racing? That's your school. That's it.
For me as a brand, it's Hamza Annual Racing.
Okay.
But we have Africa Eco Motorsport as a business.
Yeah, hiyo tutakuja kwa hiyo biashara. Ngoja hiyo nakuja baadaye. Hata usitoboe hiyo siri. Let me go to, of course, the other driver will be representing Kenya in the WRC is Evans Kabisi, who will be navigated by my longtime friend in motorsport, Absalom Maswani, who I met those back in the days, 2008, 2009. Luckily, in fact, I'm going to do this on air today. Now that Kabisi and the entire team, Sachania, Team Gatimu, were given 23 million Kenya shillings by KCB, Kavisi, how much are you sharing to your brother? You've just had that budget, Kavisi. Sema tu saa hii, usiwache kijana kwa njaa.
Unataka ya macho.
Usitumia macho tu saa hii. But of course, KCB has really come in handy, and of course, and we are hoping there can be other KCBs for such kind of talent events.
Yeah, the KCB have been a great help, both from the organizers to us as competitors, because they're pouring in a lot of money, actually a lot more than what they're giving to drivers. They're giving to the organizers in terms of just equipping them and making sure they're up to scratch. So if you think through it, they sort out the organizers, they sort out the competitors to keep them, active. Then they've gone a further mile this year with the whole setup that they're doing in the WRC events in different stages to make sure fans and people out there actually feel included as part of the whole rally journey. So that's quite helpful because it helps to clear the lines along the whole chain of motorsport. It's not just giving you as a driver some money, go give us some dust in the show. Yeah. So for us it's been quite an immense help.
Of course, I know. 23 million. I know that is like for all the drivers, but KCB najua mtaongeza pesa, najua mtaweka pesa. These drivers go through a lot. Personally, I've seen them in their garages, the kind of investment they put, their time and that. And of course, that brings me to Hamza Anwar, the uncle. Azza Anwar is actually a lot of credit goes to him. From me personally to you, Azza, if you're watching this show, or of course you are at a later message nyumbani. Of course, Azza Anwar is the one who trained me, brought me up in motorsport, and actually made me fall in love with motorsport back in the day. And you can see, I'm sure Hamza picked up from that. It comes from a family of sports. Shezana Anwar, who of course also is our Olympian in archery, definitely comes from the same family. They are cousins, with of course Hamza Anwar, and of course that relationship. How has it benefited you in terms of really growing in the sport? And is the sport the same in 2009? How is it different from back then and now?
No, certainly, I mean, from 2009 to 2025, a lot's happened, a lot's changed. But yeah, we got picked as a rally star team, myself, Jeremiah Wahome, Maxine Wahome, and Makre Kimathi.
Yes.
And that was a great government project. And I think from a decent, fairly competitive level, it took us to a world-class level within 3 years. And that set the stage for me to go and represent Kenya in the Junior World Rally Championship. So certainly it's been good. But if you were to do a throwback to 2009, rallying was much cheaper because it was production-based cars. But these days now, from production-based cars, like you get your Subarus and Evos, now it's moved to the rally pyramid of the FIA. So Rally 1, Rally 2, Rally 3, till Rally 5. So obviously this year we're in a Rally 2 car, so we're very grateful. But yeah, we've worked our way up slowly. So a lot has changed with technology. And of course, it's become much pricier, but also economically, the world hasn't been in a great place recently. So we hope for the best.
I hope these two gentlemen later on will be able to be confident enough to say, and of course express the very situation that we are as a motorsport country. Personally, as a journalist, we are in a bad state in terms of management of motorsport in the country. I'm actually using very good words. And of course, what Hamza is talking about, just before I bring in Kavisi to explain to us what was happening in the last 2 years, of course, that program, the Rally Star program, was in 2021, where all these other juniors, these upcoming rally drivers came up. Of course, were put in a program to really nurture their talent. And then now, sasa zimeenda wapi? Hamza, you'll tell us, of course, how that has impacted where we are right now. Because now we don't want to be the last person representing us in the Junior World Rally Championship.
Yeah.
Yes. Kavisi, why did you take a break? I know there were a lot of problems we had. We still have our motorsport problems. Have the problems ended now? That's why you're back? Or Nini, what brought you back?
I came back because I realized problems are a part of life. I know.
You cannot run away from them.
Problems are part of life. However much you choose to run away from them, they cannot really, let us go.
That what you learned from golf, and of course you brought it back, eh?
Yeah, so I had a stint that I call flying too close to the sun. That was back in 2022. So I came in, I prepared, for 2023 with a lot of targets. And because of the level of preparation that I put in, I was expectant of a very good result, or at least a finish and those type of things. But because I was still in the same car in terms of classification, as he's saying, because the competition has now moved from production-based cars to cars that are specifically made for racing. So everything will become ideally more expensive. Year on year, you have changes and improvements on safety that you have to, even us, we have to take up into the cars, etc. So it's just getting a lot more expensive. So what we could have done with the budgets that we ran this year, probably 5-6 years ago, would have probably run a whole season. Right now you can't. Today you only do that one event, with that kind of budget. So with the level of involvement and the level of pressure I'd put on myself, I was expecting something nice. So we had a lot of challenges in that one event, and none of them were actually car related. The car was actually perfect. It was the people. So in preparing for this event, the one thing I forgot was you can have the car 100%, but it's being driven, or the people seated in the car and people working around the car, their mental state and how they relate with each other will determine your general progress. So we had a small issue that could have been sorted out easily that I blew out of proportion. And because of that, now my attitude changed and I needed to recover that kind of time. And in trying to recover that time, I forgot the basics of motorsport, just the basics. Because I had one red dot in front of me and I ended up losing, not even 8 minutes. I lost an hour. And when you're competing for seconds, minutes is bad. Let's not even talk about what an hour does. So I was automatically out of contention. So from then on, my struggle was just to try and stay in the event because you have super early rules. Because in a 4-day event, you can be allowed to fix your car in the evening and rejoin the next day, but with a big penalty. So yes, I was dead last, but at least I knew I'd be able to tackle the rest of the stages. Well, that didn't even come anywhere close to. We got, again, because we're starting last, we got stuck in the dust and all the fresh that all the other cars were digging up. Yes. And, my rally ended deep in a forest in Naivasha. And it was one of the most disappointing events of my life. And I remember, a tow truck came to get us out of there, and I was just seated with my navigator and telling him, it's been nice knowing you. I don't think I'll do this again. And this is it. There's no way I'm coming back to do this again. And at that heat of the moment, both of us are in agreement. It's been a nice journey. Let's just leave it the way it is. So last year, come around now to last year, I was very clear I was not doing the event. At least I had no, I didn't need a second thought about it. Yes. I was clear about it. But now I needed to take time to do other things because now I had a lot of time on my hands. My daughter had started taking up golf. So I was taking her to practice on a Monday afternoon at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was pissing off to just be there, do nothing. And I decided, let me just try my hand. I hated that sport, from a very early age. Yeah, I really didn't think it could be captivating in any way. Like it was a really slow sport. Mm-hmm. Anyway, soon enough I was buying clubs. Soon enough I was competing, and I don't know. I just shifted my entire mentality. Now midway through it, when I'd lost sight of rally, now I was in golf. Almost every other weekend I was competing in a different competition. Whatever I could find, I was competing. So I remember my wife asked me if now I'm okay to go back to rallying because I'm spoiling golf for her. So
I understand that question.
Yeah, so I actually realized it is time I get back. There's a lot of things I've gained from it that I would not have gained if I didn't go that route. So I'm really grateful for that.
Well done. Hamza, what sport do you do besides motorsport? The sport that has helped my brother to go and come back. like
for me, my dad took me to play golf when I was 5, and I threw the club away because my philosophy is only play a sport that requires 2 balls. But touching back,
a cold one for your dad.
Touching back on what Evans just mentioned, it's the love and passion we have for the sport. As much as it puts us down, as rally drivers, we have this different zone we get into that we really want to achieve something and we want to win something. We have the desire to win, and it's a very powerful feeling. And this is what keeps us motivated. This is what keeps us going. And I've been let down by the government. I've been let down by my sponsors, but I haven't complained about it. But I think it's time I should put it out to the public that I'm looking for help. There are many drivers like me, talented, genuine, determined drivers. They have the drive to win. And we're looking out for people to come out there and sponsor us. It's lovely what KCB is doing. But we're looking, there's plenty of guys just like me, girls just like me, very talented, have dedicated most of their youth and teenage years into this. And, we're looking out for people to come and really back us. Honestly, I'm on a video game. I mean, a Kenyan is on a video game of the latest WRC. This is a big thing. And I feel like we all need to get together and maybe revitalize the Rally Star program somehow, give feedback to each other. And we must, as KMSAF, as an organizing body, we must be one and really work together and see and strategize on the way forward for the future.
Well done. What Hamza is politely saying about being on ES Sports, Motorsport, you see what you do on FIFA and playing ball on FIFA, teams like Arsenal playing there. You can imagine Hamza is featured globally on that platform. I was dissecting that. I hope I've dissected it correctly.
Yeah, it's correct. And let me add one thing.
Please do. Go on, please.
In 2023, I was voted as a Kenyan, should I say, was voted as the top 3 most improved driver in the World Rally Championship. That's a big thing. And then for the next year, for you to just be dropped into the couple of years, to literally sit down and, discuss with the people in power and, with the organizations. Let's do something together. I'm young, he's still young, and we're planning, we're ready to work together and have some synergy. But please, we call out the public and we call out the corporates and the people willing to sponsor. I'm out here, I'm 26 years old, and I'm ready to really put a good performance and a good show on. Kenya Jew as always.
True, and his car, his Ford Fiesta, that he'll be using in the WRC, has a lot of space. Kwa bonnet, hapo kwa boot, hapa kando, hapa juu. Tuseme uko na space, Hamza. Tuseme uko na space. Unajua nakupata time mingi juu, sasa huyu amekataa kutoboka, wacha sasa wewe tukutetee sasa.
There's a lot of conversation that needs to be had around sponsorship and what money does in an event, as he's saying, both to organizers and to competitors. And that lack of continuity sometimes is what drains a lot of us. And you'd have, people who are proper rising stars and, they can actually become something really big in this sport. But we lack either the capacity or the synergy to just bring it to fore. Give you an example, some of the information I recently found out that most people do not know. Whenever according to the Sports Act of 2017, anyone who puts in money into sport as an organization, be it football, be it motorsport, 100% of it is recoverable as a tax expense, right? Which is something you would think would be appealing to a lot of business entities who every single day are looking for ways to either minimize how much they're paying out in taxes and that kind of thing. But here you'd be promoting your own brand. It's directly saying my marketing budget is actually a tax rebate for me, so to speak. So part of this information is what is not out there. People would have a fallacy or thinking about the sport that you have to be rich for you to do this kind of event. Fine, it's expensive. But to be honest with you, if you look at some of the sports, even the Olympics, they are seriously expensive to even put up in the first place. And the organization around it. part of it, he was talking about the government and supporting the athletes. If you think about football or athletics or any other sport that goes, sends teams out there, every year we have people going out for the Africa Rally Champions, the championship. Karan won last year and the year before, right? He has zero support, except from KCB as a bank, which is a private entity, so to speak. Zero support from the government. And you see, for how long do you think he's going to do it, given the numbers that we are going through? So as much as he would be the champion this year and he'd want to repeat it, and he'd have an opportunity of the bigger teams picking him up to put him on the world stage, we have very little of those opportunities that we can actually take over, because you didn't even get to drive in the events in the first place. So that's why I'm saying there's a lot of conversations that need to be had around motorsport and sponsorship that is not being had at the moment.
And of course, we'll need to hear on the kind of side hustle activities that Hamza does to cover up for these missed opportunities that government and private entities are doing, not being part of. That, of course, Hamza will share after. So let's just take a very short break, because nimeona hata kabisa alikuwa ameenda flat out kufungua roho.
That was just right.
Yeah, that was good flat out, of course, on bringing out that. And of course, Hamza will share in terms of how actually he mitigates or actually gets to ensure that he actually participates in this event. That we'll do that after this very, very, very short break. This is Sports Extravaganza. Don't go away. We'll be back, of course, with Hamza and Kavisi.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth, as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water.
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken.
Welcome back. We are live. This is Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda here. Thank you for staying with us every Saturday from 4 p.m. all the way to 7 p.m. There's a place to watch all the sports and, of course, bring you the sports personalities in and out of the country. And this particular afternoon, I'm honored to have an African rally champion, Hamza Anwar. I also have our national champion as well, my good friend Evans Kavisi, navigated by Absalom Aswani. Hamza does not, Hamza anajipenda sana. He has actually forgotten his navigator, but maybe it is my job to introduce his navigator. Adnan, ngozi kwa wapi jina?
Dean.
Yeah, Adnan Dean. I know you are the coast, right? You are enjoying the pristine sandy beaches of Diani. But of course, Hamza, tell us about Adnan Dean. I mean, how did you guys get together?
So I think it's been about 4 years now.
Yeah.
It was Voi Rally 2021. I started my career with Riaz Ismail and then eventually moved in with Adnan, and we found a very good synergy, and I've never sat with anyone who doesn't get scared. He pushes me on. So I know when his tone of voice changes, he has a British accent. And that accent comes on, now I know it's flat out. So yeah, a beautiful person in and out of the car. Consider him a brother. And we've come a long way. We've done Rally Sweden, Rally Sardinia. We've done multiple safaris, WRC rounds these are. And even when we went to Sardinia, we set a multiple a string of top 3 stage times. So that was very convincing. And yeah, he's a lovely guy. And I love how he helps me out when we get a puncture.
So Mr. Hams is just telling you there and do any puncture changes.
Yeah, I feel like he's putting that in.
He just told you exactly. Sit there and just wait for guys to come back with the spanners. Of course, what Hamza is not telling you as well is that he drives on both the right and on the left side. Like in Kenya, we drive on the right. Now, this young man, 26-year-old, drives also on the left, drives on the right. If they put even something at the back to drive, he will be driving it. And also he's talented to drive both on gravel, as well as on ice, as well as on all surfaces. My good friend is very talented in those kind of terrains. So there's a lot, of course, that Hamza has that, of course, is out there for you as a corporate, for you as the government. I'm speaking to the Minister or the Cabinet Secretary of Sports, Honorable Salim Vuria. I'm also speaking to the Principal Secretary of Sports, Engineer Peter Toom. I'm speaking to all the leadership, straight from the President, that we have a global star seated amongst us without support. And you are seated comfortably in your offices, enjoying motorsport and telling us to go cover the event on the 20th, 23rd, and yet our very own does not have support from the government. Kavisi, si nimesema ukweli?
Yes,
nikitoka hapa naweza bebwa na ofisi iko tu hapa nyuma.
Chunga. But anyway, what you're saying is right. It's us to call it what it is. It's a sad state of affairs when you come to deal with motorsport locally. We've had our own problems, wrangles internally. Never so much actually within the competitor side. Those are there, but just to keep things alive, There's a stage I went into once and I beat this guy. And when he comes out, he tells me we make a bet for the next stage. And I'm not a betting man. I don't like losing money. So if you want to beat me, just beat me. But anyway, those are small problems. Yes. To bring us back to the matter, the way we handle sports, especially motorsports in Kenya, is, in my opinion, not the very best of ways. It's as if you don't stick to the normal career lines, this does not make sense for you. Like, there are footballers who actually make a living today, Kenyans, out of just playing football. Same thing for golf. If you look at athletics, the names, there's a whole list of people who do that. The only place where that doesn't happen is motorsport. And there's a big disparity between what I feel the public knows or thinks about motorsport and what actually happens in motorsport. A lot of the guys you meet with in motorsport are not wealthy fellows. These are guys I know who will come to Recce with their daily drives, right? And Recce is really hard on cars. So you can imagine this someone taking on their car that they use to work every day to take you to do a reconnaissance that you're going to do just one. You could do just 2 stages and your rally is over. The kind of effort it requires, both physically and financially, even just from a planning perspective, if you look at it, how much you have to have done for your family, for you to black them out of your mind when you're in that car. We can joke and be nice about everything before we wear the helmet. We are very happy fellas, we are all noisy and all that, but the minute you wear that helmet, that notoriety ends immediately. Everyone's just focused on one task, just how soon can I get to the end of this stage? And that is what determines who wins an event. So for you to be able to safely do that, you can't be thinking, did I close the door today in the morning, the door of my house? Where did I leave my wallet? You know, such small thoughts, you can't have them. So from that perspective, you need to understand how much focus and how much people have to put in their minds to just train to do this one thing, right? You're not being paid for it. You're doing it for passion, so to speak. This is ideally what gets you out of bed every day. And to imagine that the opportunities that are available currently, especially with the WRC coming back to Kenya, the opportunities available, especially for the young guys, you know, like I would say between your 16s all the way up to about 28, 29-year-olds, people who already have clawed into motorsport. The talent is picked at that age. If you look at the current age of the WRC top drivers, you'll be surprised. It's nowhere beyond 30. It's only like 2 drivers who are beyond 30. Yeah. All of them are those young guys with all that experience, but they've packed it up since they were young. So people like him, I know, started racing very early. I started late in my life, but at least he had the support to start, you know, racing early, and that's a good thing. By the time it gets to where you need to be able to compete with the big boys, so to speak, a lot of alignment must happen. True. And a lot of that weight I would like to throw to the organizations that organize and run these events. Your federations, then now to your ministries. Because it is those guys who ideally should be able to pick up the talent and the opportunities that's available for all these people and distribute them equally. True. First of all, we don't have that opportunity being picked up. And there's secondly no distribution, because no one has even cared to look, you know, if that talent exists and what can we do about it. So that's a real problem here. However, over the last, I would say, 5 years, there's been a major improvement compared to the years before, because the years before we had a lot of focus on local events. So that's a good and bad thing. It's a double-edged sword, because there was a lot of focus on local events, none on international events. But now we've switched that. The problem is the development that we did back in the day actually stopped. And almost no one cares to look at what happened there. So that's why you'd have an event with 10 entries or less than 10 entries. And back in the day, we used to have 50, we used to have 80, you know. There was a lot that can be done from that federation side and from the Ministry of Sports level to push down in terms of making motorsport more accessible to people, like to deal with normal cars that you and me are used to. If you look at the current World Rally cars, you know, you might interact with them, but you know very well it's not the standard road car. But it is possible for us to race in those standard road cars. It's what we used to do. And that is what encouraged people to get into the sport, because it's something you can see, identify and say, you know, this is something I know a guy who has a car like this. I can fix this into a rally car. You gain a bit of skill and knowledge, and over time you go up the skills. So that is where we've lost really big time there. I might see we might have a discontinuity between the older generation and the young, on that perspective.
There's a wide gap there. Hamza, of course, as we wind up, you mentioned about the Africa Eco Motorsport. You are the director there. You train at a fee. You know, how will he race? How will he get the euros to go race in Sweden and Dania? And of course, part of your team, of course, I'm sure they're watching and would like to be acknowledged. Please appreciate them. And please tell Kimaru, we are coming to eat pork.
So yeah, we're a young team, but an experienced team at the same time. We offer services, motorsport hire and sales internationally. So if someone wants to get into motorsport, into rallying, but a lot of disciplines, it's not just limited to rallying. We also cover rally raid now. But the aim was to make a gap for people and to make it easier to access motorsport. And okay, we have a lot of wealthy clients that come from Europe, you know, from South America, you know, a lot of internationally, continentally. They come over to race and they do the East African Safari Classic. You know, we have a couple of memorial historic rallying, which is very famous. So they try and recreate the safari of the old days, but with the classic regulations. But that's one segment. And then you have from anywhere from historic to our up-to-date modern rally cars. We currently have 2 Rally 2 cars, which they used to call R5s, and we have 2 Rally 3 cars in stock. And these are like the top kind of placed cars. And we are encouraging, or to get a government backing and some major corporates to actually take the next generation of Kenyans and push them forward. Because we're seeing we have taken matters into our own hands somehow.
Clearly.
And, for us as a racing family, as the Anwars, I speak on behalf of Asad Anwar, my father, and possibly Azhar as well. We want to see motorsport become great again. It was once, on top of things, and we want to see it come back there. And it's not about having all about the money. It's about having the passion and the drive and the willingness to strive for success.
Indeed. Well done. Of course, and you spoke about the Motorsport Museum. You have the best technicians and engineers. I don't know why you want to speak about that. 30 seconds.
So we have, I'll just mention the lads. We have Sunny Singh Racing. We have Kimaru as a manager. We have Mondet from Kaptagat. We have Nandi, Bandi, James Oma, Ken Prince, Kamwana. There's so many of the team. I could go till the end mentioning them. Asante Sana, we're looking forward to putting a solid performance. And don't worry, guys, I won't let you guys down at all.
Very true indeed. Of course, just before I give my Kavisi 30 seconds, of course, to give his closing remarks, kama tuko kwa event. What he's not saying, of course, the garage will be along the southern bypass, and it's near an eatery where they do their garage and they go eat. They eat. That's why you see he's hidden his one pack inside this hoodie. It's very strategic. Ajava to your hoodie.
So actually, Karibu, there's a place next to us. We're not open yet, but after WRC soon we'll be open. There's a really nice place of brisket next door to us. 7 hours they smoke the meat. We will be having a cafe eventually. Follow us on our social media handles.
Yes.
Hamza Anwar Racing, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, the lot. Also our YouTube channel if you want to keep to date and see the real raw footage of what we do in the car and out of the car. You'll get to see that on my YouTube channels. And of course, TikTok is very active and controversial. I love it. They call me the problem child for a reason.
You should see the dad.
Probably what Hamza really hasn't mentioned is motorsport generally. As much as it say they have that number of cars in stock, it costs us to run competitively as much as it costs us to buy the car.
Wow.
So buying the car is not the problem.
So, yeah.
You can buy it, no problem.
Great.
Running it every year, you're eating a budget that's close to the figure that it costs you to buy that car. That's normally where the challenge comes.
Yes.
That's why we normally need sponsors and backing, from anyone and everyone who could. So I support everyone who's trying to get some sort of backing going their way, 100%. Secondly, maybe
20 seconds.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'd like to honestly thank my sponsors, KCB.
Yes.
For always seeing it year on year to keep sponsoring us, and letting us at least be able to push ourselves, to make a mark in the World Rally Championship stage. We can't really compete with the top level guys because of just the regulations and how those cars are. But at least in our category, we promise to put out the best of action possible. So we'd like to really thank them for every year to being on our side.
Well done. Evans Kavisi, navigated by Absalom Suwani in a Mitsubishi Evolution 10. And of course, Adnan Dean, driven by Hamza Anwar in a Ford Fiesta, amongst a host of other Kenyan drivers. Will be participating in the WRC Safari Rally starting from the 20th to the 23rd of this month, starting in Nairobi here at KCC City Hall, Kasarani, and all the way to Naivasha. TV47, Radio 47 will be on the ground. Thank you, gentlemen. And of course, Hamza Anwar Racing. Thank you so much, Evans Kavisi and your team. Of course, please pass my greetings to Asad Anwar, my very good friend. I've been telling them since you were still in primary school. So send my greetings.
Unnecessary.
We're taking a very...
Unnecessary.
We'll not take a break. We're just going to take you all the way to the English Premier League. My very good friend, or rather my colleague, Boniface Kimanzi, was able to interact with you about what you think about what's happening in the English Premier League. I forgot to ask my good friends if they watch ball. But of course, there's a big one, Manchester United versus Arsenal tomorrow. Super Sunday in the English Premier League. So Boniface, tell us what's happening on the ground.
Asante sana mwenzangu Tony Kwalanda, na kama unavyojua tuko hapa katika mtaa wa Machakos Masi, ambapo tuko na mafansi wengi, mafansi wa Manchester United, mafansi wa Chelsea, Man City, na vile vile kuna mafansi wa Chelsea. Watakuwa wanatuambia kuhusu ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Watakuwa wanatuambia timu yao pale inacheza vipi, na je, wako na matumaini msimu watakuwa wanachukua ligi ama watakuwa wanafanyaje? Bila shaka niko na shabiki mmoja hapa, atakuwa anatuambia majina yake na timu yake ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ndugu sana, karibu sana TV47, utuambie majina yako na timu yako ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza, na ni kwa nini una support?
Naitwa Felix Mulu, na support Manchester United.
Felix, kwa nini una support Manchester United?
Juu timu mbaya, juu timu inawika.
Kwa nini unasema Manchester United ni timu mbaya?
Iko na 13 titles. Hakuna mwenye amefikia hapo.
Tumeona kocha mpya ambaye ni Ruben Amorim aingie pale, amekuwa akishinda mechi zingine, lakini pia tuliona juzi waliondolewa katika FA. Uko na maoni gani kuhusu ule Ruben Amorim? Atakuwa anasalia pale ama atakuwa anaondoka?
Mi kwa maoni yangu atasalia, juu unapata hii ni team iko in transition. So team iko in transition inakuwa na challenges zake. So atabaki.
Manchester United tumeona tangu Ferguson aondoke pale amechukua ligi. Ni msimu gani? Huu msimu mtakuwa mnachukua ligi?
Sioni, acha niongee ukweli siwezi.
Ni timu gani ambayo itachukua ligi msimu?
Liverpool.
Kwa nini Liverpool?
Juu wako na ile consistency ya kupata point 3 per game.
Asante sana. Shabiki wa Manchester United anasema kwamba anamwaminia sana ule Ruben Amorim na atakuwa anasalia pale katika uga wa Old Trafford. Bila shaka kuna shabiki mwingine hapa ambaye atakuwa anatuambia majina yake na timu yake ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ni kwa nini anaipatia support? Na ndugu, karibu sana TV47, utuambie majina yako na timu yako ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ni kwa nini unaipatia support?
Kwa majina naitwa Nicholas Mutisia. Mimi na support Chelsea. Chelsea ni timu yenye nilianza kusupport kutoka 05. I was young na nilikuwa naipenda jiko na Blacks wengi. So Chelsea kuna katimu kametwekea namba hapo kanaitwa Nottingham Forest. Hako tunakadondo hapo hivi. So top 4 ni must. Si tunamaliza top 4. Chana hao sijui wana battle relegation Manchester United. Wako na stiff competition huko na kina Ipswich. Lakini sisi hapo hivi tutafanya mambo, tutafanya makuu. Sasa ukituangalia hata hii kombe mpya imekam. Hiyo ndo tunataka kubeba hiyo. So hiyo ndo target yetu. Hii Conference League.
Chelsea tumeona kocha mpya ambaye ni Enzo Maresca, tangu aingie pale alikuwa ameondoka pale ni ule Pochettino. Uko na imani sana na ule Enzo Maresca ama pia atakuwa anaondoka? Maana tumeona makocha wengi wamekuwa wakiondolewa pale na ile board na management ya Chelsea.
With time mse na unatua kienda juu ile frustration anapewa na wenye Chelsea itamfanya tu aende. Coach Pochettino si eti alienda juu ni mbaya. Ni vitu zenye unaambiwa ufanye. Unaambiwa hii timu atashuka tu, ataenda tu. Very soon ataenda, but kufanya vizuri si eti anafanya vizuri juu yeye ni mzuri, ni vile tu ako na kikosi smart. Squad depth.
Ni mchezaji mgani ambaye unategemea sana pale katika Chelsea?
Kuna Palmer. Palmer ndo mchezaji tu nategemea sana.
Kwa nini Palmer?
Sio unaona hadi ma-assist. Kaa iko game manzi tuko down vibaya sana. Yeye ndo anapeana ma-assist, ana create chances. So unapata hii timu nyingine bado wako wameshtuka, yani manzima defender wa controls. Juu Palmer wako hapo manzi, kuna time yote anaweza funga pia yeye. Tunamjua. Anaweza funga anytime.
Asante sana. Shabiki wa Chelsea anasema kwamba wanamwaminia sana ule Cole Palmer ambaye ni mchezaji anacheza pale katika. Kuna shabiki mwingine hapa atakuwa anatuambia majina yake na timu yake ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ni kwa nini anaisupport? Na ndugu, karibu sana TV47, utuambie majina yako na timu yako ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ni kwa nini unaisupport?
Kwa majina naitwa Stanlas Mambo, mimi na support Manchester United, timu kubwa, timu yenye pesa.
Timu kubwa unamaanishaje?
Timu kubwa inamaanishaje? Sisi tuko table number 2. Kuna timu zimengangana ziko table number 1 lakini hazichezi Europa, lakini sisi tunaicheza. So ni kutumia tu akili.
Tangu Ferguson aondoke pale katika Manchester United amechukua ligi. Je, ni msimu gani utafikiri mtakuwa mnachukua ligi? Huu msimu mtakuwa mnachukua ligi?
Kusema kweli hii msimu hatuwezi juu kochari ambaye amekuja tu juzi ni ila ana try kuunda team, afix ma players, ajue kila mtu pale yake, lakini next season tutajaribu.
Kuna matumaini na Ruben Amorim pale Manchester?
Niko na matumaini juu tangu akuje game zetu mingi tumeona win, tumeona change, vijana wanajituma pale kwa uwanja.
Arsenal itakuwa inachukua ligi msimu huu ama ni Liverpool? Na kwa nini una support upande mmoja?
Kwa pale kwa Arsenal hizo nazo ni ndoto tu. Pale watatoka tu bure, kikombe ni ya Liverpool. Tukiangalia zile point Arsenal wameachwa na Liverpool na games zenye zimebaki, Liverpool wacheze na Arsenal. Kusema kweli tu Liverpool watabeba. Arsenal hawezi beba kikombe. Waliachilia tu.
Ni mchezaji mgani ambaye unapenda sana pale katika uga wa Manchester United ambaye huwa unafurahia sana ukimwona anacheza?
Mchezaji namba 8 Bruno Fernandes. Kijana wa mapasi ule, kijana anacheza game, anafunga, anatengeneza game na bado ndio captain pale. Namwaminia sana.
Asante sana na tunawatakia mazuri ni wale Manchester United. Vile vile niko na shabiki mwingine hapa atakwenda tuambia majina yake na timu yake ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza na kwa nini anaisupport. Na ndugu karibu sana TV47 tuambie majina yako na timu yako ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Kwa nini unaisupport?
Mimi naitwa Will Kakos na support Manchester United.
Kwa nini Manchester?
Ndio the best team. Tangu niwe mdogo nimejua Manchester United kama ndio timu ile the best.
Tumeona Ruben Amorim flop sana tangu kuondoka kwa Erik ten Hag. Je, kuna matumaini na Amorim?
Sisi kama Manchester tunamsupport. Juu mwanzo hajaunda ile timu vizuri, lakini huenda tutapata matransfers nzuri, tupate wachezaji nzuri na naona timu itarejea ile hali yake nzuri.
Ni striker mgani ambaye anafaa acheze pale? Maana Man United tumeona Rasmus Hojlund afungi mabao na vile vile ameondoka ule Rashford ambaye ameenda pale klabu ya Aston Villa.
Kwa sasa bado hatuna striker mzuri, lakini tunaaminia maybe next season tunapata striker mzuri mwenye ataweza kutufungia mabao, kwa sababu tukiangalia pale kwa striking yetu iko chini tu kidogo na pale creativity kidogo iko chini. Ukiangalia huyu jamaa wetu anacheza nambari 8 pale, naitwa nani huyu jamaa wetu anacheza hapo, mimi naona creativity iko chini. So mazee tunahitaji tu mtu mwenye ako more creative kama yule wa Chelsea yule Cole Palmer. Ukiangalia yule jamaa ako creative. Na si ati tunasema hivyo kwa sababu mimi si mwana Chelsea ama mimi ni mwana Manchester, but yule mchezaji ako fit. Ukiangalia ile creativity iko juu. So sisi Man U tunahitaji mtu pia ako creative.
Kwa natuambia majina yake na timu yake ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na ndugu karibu sana TV47 utuambie majina yako na timu yako ni gani pale katika ligi kuu nchini Uingereza. Na kwa nini unasupport?
Kwa majina naitwa John Kioko na support Arsenal, timu kubwa yenye ainaga show off. Timu yenye ikifika kwa ma trophies tuna fumble kidogo, lakini hii season yetu si fumble na tunajaminia.
Kwa nini unapenda Arsenal sana? Maana tumeona uko na upenda sana kwa Arsenal.
Arsenal ni timu yenye nakwambia ilikuwa inabeba hapo nyuma ambapo sitasema ni lini. Juu si kuwepo. Lakini hii ukiangalia timu ni timu yenye iko na nini mzuri ya kuonyeshana inajua mpira. Shida sijui inaingilia gapi ikikuja ni kuchukua vikombe. Lakini Arsenal ni timu mbaya sana.
Ni timu gani ambayo itakuwa inachukua ligi msimu huu? Arsenal ama Liverpool?
Kulingana na mimi naona tu ni Liverpool juu wametuacha na points mingi kidogo ambayo tunaona hatuwezi fikia kusema ukweli.
Asante sana. Ni shabiki wa Arsenal anasema kwamba ana matumaini sana msimu huu, lakini watakuwa wanajikakamua msimu ujao ndiposa waweze kuchukua ligi kuu pale nchini Uingereza. Na kutoka kwangu Tony Kwalanda, nimekuwa na mafansi wengi, mafansi wa Manchester United, mafansi wa Chelsea, mafansi wa Man City ambao wametupatia maoni yao kuhusu ligi kuu nchini Uingereza na vile wangetaka marekebisho ifanywe pale katika timu zao ndiposa waweze kuchukua ligi ndio waweze kutamba zaidi. Kutoka kwangu sina la ziada ila kurudisha usukani kwako Tony Kwalanda uko pale studioni. Kutoka hapa Machakos, mimi ni Boniface Kimanzi.
Thank you very much Boniface. Asante sana. Alienda Masaku akakutana na watu wa Masakos. Thank you so much Boniface Kimanzi coming to us of course one on one from Machakos County. Najua kuna zingine pia aliongea na nyinyi, anatafuta maoni yenu kuhusiana na English Premier League. If you're joining us, this is Sports Extravaganza. My name is Tony Kwalanda. We have a question of the day about football that is coming up tomorrow. Yani tomorrow, it's a big one, the English Premier League. Please share with us. Yeah, you can send in a 20-second WhatsApp video clip. Tell us what is your prediction for tomorrow's English Premier League match between Manchester United and Arsenal. Share us your predictions. Give us the reasons why you're sharing those predictions. You can even tell us your probable lineup. Please go to WhatsApp, talk to us. The numbers are on your screen. Ziko pale. So ndio hiyo namba ziko hapa. Hata nisome hiyo namba 0793267279. Hiyo ni WhatsApp ya kutuma video, alafu namba ya simu iko hapo, mnaona hapo chini. Call in live, send us those WhatsApp messages. And of course, in that breath, I'm joined in studio by the best sports football analysts in Kenya. Ladies first. Happy International Women's Day, Celine Waithera. Nimekumiss.
Umenitupa ni sawa, ulinidump ni sawa.
Watu hurudiana.
Ta second chance.
Na nimengoja tu International Women's Day.
Kwanga that chance.
It's good to see you. Karibu sana.
Good to see you too.
Asante. I also have a football coach and a top football commentator, my good friend Michael Barnabe. Karibu sana kwa Sports Extravaganza again.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you.
But naomba nikusaidie kitu moja.
Gani?
Manchester United versus
Arsenal.
Is no longer a big issue or a big event. Thank you so much.
Buddha. Security. And then of course we have Benjamin Kilong, of course a top football analyst in the country. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Huyu jamaa anaongea mbaya ama anaongea vizuri? Game ya Arsenal ni game.
Amesema ukweli kwa sababu
hawa ni watu na Motorsport. Of course, this gentleman and lady will be, of course, on this particular bandwagon situation, discussing about English Premier League. Already hapa tuna mambo ni moto. They'll give us their prediction. Remember, you need to watch this particular segment because it will assist you today, tonight, and tomorrow. Don't go away. We'll be back after this short break.
know, and
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m. on The Green Fix as we look into the big why, you and I.
For comprehensive information and education on your health, Body Garage is here.
Don't allow anyone to pluck out your good tooth, as long as it is strong and stable.
Cancer doesn't start today and you get the symptoms tomorrow. By the time you pick it or the time it is manifesting in you, probably will be there about 5 to 10 years.
The eye is the window to the rest of the body.
Don't forget to stay hydrated.
And of course, you at home do take your water.
So the ultimate test is actually you check your urine. Your urine should be clear.
Clear like the water.
Yes. Should be able to see the other side of the urine. If your urine is colored or has changed color, you cannot see the other side, then you have not taken enough water.
Don't forget regular health checkups. Early detection saves lives.
I want the message be, we can prevent cervical cancer. We prevent cervical cancer in several ways. You have young girls and even somebody who's above that age, you can pay at least every 3 years. Somebody should have a pap smear done.
If you are 40, 45, 50 going upwards, once a year, please go see a doctor. Yeah, it's just for normal routine maintenance.
Hey there, friends. Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2. What position were you? Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chip, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberry.
Welcome back. This is Sports Extravaganza, live on TV 47 every Saturday 4 to 7 p.m. Kenyan time. You can always watch us on DStv channel 274. You can also watch us endlessly online on www.tv47digital.digital. Ekitukayo. TV47.digital. Hapo tunapiga shughuli yote, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, you name them, tuko live. I'm not alone on this particular segment. We're discussing matters football. We'll do the Europe football. Nottingham has just spoilt my bet. Bet yangu imekunywa River Nzoia. We'll discuss about English Premier League, our local league. There is, of course, the FKF Cup going on. There's Bundesliga, there is Italian Serie A. There is Kenya beating Uganda. Tumepiga mtu huko Uganda, madem, under 17. Wamekongota ngoto watu wa Mseveni. 2-0, of course, in a World Cup qualifier game. So definitely at least one leg inside. Happy International Women's Day to our girls. Yeah. But what happened in EPL? Ladies first. You had complaints, Celine, about how we have put our state-of-the-art HD jerseys. Ulikuwa na shida gani nao? Unaweza change ukitaka.
Naona hiyo standard chartered penye iko inafaa ikae hapo. Actually hapa.
Kwani ilikuwa wapi?
last Saturday kuna mtu alikuwa amehang hapa hivi kama nguo na ina pegs. That is disrespect. The fact that you are on top of the table. Haifai kuwa hivyo. So hapo ikae hapo.
Let me tell people. Let me tell Kenyans and other people watching us around the world.
Please.
First of all, ukiona Gen Z ana support Liverpool, huyo ni kujiwekelea. So she's
not mambwakni.
Watu wa Liverpool.
Ni wazee. Ni wazee.
Hata tuanze kusema ati wewe ni supporter wa Liverpool.
Aje sasa.
How?
It cannot happen.
Yes. Alikuwa tu wa Chelsea.
Umepatikana Zelini.
Akaona sisi kidogo tu.
Akiwendi poa akaanguka.
No, if you just want to recruit me, say it. Wacha kusema agency.
Alikuwa recruited.
Join Chelsea.
You can't join Chelsea.
I can never join Chelsea.
Because huwezi join Arsenal. Huwezi join Man City.
Man
U ndo naeka ya mwisho.
Be a hockey fan than support any other.
So hapo tumepiga. Hautashinda hiyo kura mzee. Hiyo
ikae hapa.
Imekaa. No, we will not move it because you've mentioned that a very serious statement on the International Women's Day. We will always remember that. We will never forget and you'll never walk alone.
Amesema iwekwe hapo.
Ataiweka. Banabe, of course, now you've seen Liverpool is currently playing 10 minutes against Southampton, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Brighton, Fulham 0-0. The earlier game, Nottingham Forest, I'm sure, Banabe, you didn't expect that. It's because of...
With the form Man City is having now, anything is possible.
And
actually, nimesikia ukisema livanzoia mahali. Don't ever. For now, usikue sure na Man City.
Nisichague hiyo game.
No, don't do that. Then people have to realize that ni sisi Chelsea ambao tumepiga Man City. All right? Because our players all around the world, especially in EPL, tumewapatia. Hudson-Odoi ndiye amepiga bao against Man City. The mighty as they call them. They are no longer the mighty. Sawa. So watu lazima wakue to recognize your point before tuendelee. So for me, I think Nottingham Forest with the form wako nayo saizi, wamekuwa number 3, and then wamekuwa home. So I'm very sure keeping a clean sheet against Man City is not easy, but they've done that. Na wakapata bao 1-0. Na walijua Chelsea is behind them. If wangepoteza wangepitwa tu rahisi. Kwa hivyo nafikiri ilikuwa tu wakati wa dressing room. The talk, nafikiri coach aliwaambia hizo zote. Sometimes you just don't even touch on the tactics. Unaambia tu wachezaji ni aje, this is what is at stake if we lose this match. So for us to keep up, we have to win this match. And I think that is what the coach did.
And right now, of course, Benjamin Kilongi will share into that. Nottingham Forest is above Manchester City on the table.
Yep.
51 points for Nottingham Forest after 28 games. Man City, 28 games, 47 points on the log so far. Chelsea, 46 points. Arsenal, 54. And then Celine's team, 68. Hey, Kilong. Liverpool, tuseme tu ni champions elect.
Yeah, it looks like it. They've already set the pace that nobody can reach them.
Say it with chest.
Unashabikia timu gani, Benjamin?
Mimi ni fan wa Chelsea. Timu kubwa.
Sasa tuko na mafans wa Chelsea ni 1, 2, 3.
Hata producers wote ni wa Chelsea.
The biggest team in London.
Oh, definitely. The Blues, kabisa. But Liverpool has walked away with it. This one we should not even argue with.
Yeah, so the competition starts from the second position to number 10. Because you see the teams placed there in the points, it's minimal. So there's the top 4 positions, that's the Champions League spot, are the one for contention. But the title is as good as gone. It was a lucky season for Arne Slot, let me say that. Lucky. It was luck.
Umesema luck na Selina kwa hapa.
It was luck. Because not really hard work. He never built anything. He never bought anyone.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Last season, Jurgen Klopp left, right?
Yeah.
What were people saying? That we're going to flop this season. And then we bring in Ancelotti and he's actually doing best. How many games have we lost? 1.
Yeah, but he's
Nottingham
not
Forest.
done anything spectacular.
What is luck there? Or you're going to say because we played PSG last,
No, luck in the sense that other teams never showed up for the competition.
That is the point.
Yeah.
Wachana hata na story ya
You knew,
That is the point.
no, you knew this is a competition, right? It's not like we are coming there and we get points and then we sit. It was a competition. So it was either you come with that winning mentality or you leave it at home, because this is not like a child's play. It's not like we are playing chess over here. It's like you get points or you
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that other teams did not show up for the competition. Hakuna kitu kama.
Yeah, so it was luck in the sense that
It was not luck.
Arne Slot never built anything. He found the players there.
Yes,
He found
kuna watu kama kina Arsenal wako hapo.
Yeah, imagine.
Akapata kuna teams zinaenda relegation
Ten Hag
that
and
used to
all
be
those
there.
Amorims, and then they never performed. Would you say it's the coach or it's the boys?
By the way, okay, tunapea tu credit. Yeah, Liverpool, they deserve the credit.
Stop saying it's luck, it's hard work.
But honestly, ukiangalia, I think competition ingekuwa kama last season. Toe ambayo tuliona between Arsenal and Man City, and even Liverpool there. I think kungekuwa na a different story today. But just because tumeona sisi wenyewe as Chelsea tumeshindwa kukaa pale. But of which mimi nasema the season is not over yet. Tuko na game ngapi zimebaki? 9. Yeah. So 9 points mob sana, 27 points ambazo tunangangania. Goodness, bado hata sisi Chelsea wataniita delusional, but I can tell you we are still in the title race. Yes, I can tell people without fear of contradiction that we.
What are you saying?
Mushai win Conference League.
Bado.
Have you ever won it? We are winning it.
I'm win Champions League.
No. Wachana na Champions League.
No, we're talking about Conference League. Yeah.
Have you ever won that trophy?
It's okay. We have never.
Saying yes
we
or
have
no.
Never won.
Yes or no. You have never won.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
We are winning it.
Chelsea is in the Conference League. Conference League, and of course they are on a hot streak hot streaking winnings on the Conference League, and they are behind Liverpool by. Let's just say, let us look at the other fixtures that are happening today. What do you want to say, Celine?
I wanted to tell him to address me properly.
Don't usikue bullied na watu wa Arsenal ambao wametoka juzi wakaenda Liverpool just because they are leading.
First you accuse me, I'm a Gen Z. Second you say I'm an
Umesifiwa hapo Celine.
Now, have you ever realized that this is not going to all, but some women wana supporting zile team ambazo watu wao wana support.
Hatutasema
watu achane nayo. So huwezi jua. Just saying.
You know, we should switch because the next time I might box some.
Tafadhali, one of you should wear this, the other one should wear this. No, acha tu niwapatie tu wakae nazo standby. Kiumana unatumianga mkono gani? Kikinuka unaweza mgonga ngumi.
Unaona ni dem lefty.
Unaweza chukua sasa ya left umpige. Rose mbaye mpige.
Patia left.
Niwapatie just in case things get.
The problem is the referee might be a Chelsea fan, and I'm a Chelsea fan. So you know where
the game will end up. So Extravaganza here. Liverpool 0, 18 minutes already played. Liverpool 0, Southampton 0. That's like the top and the bottom clash. Selina inafaa tuambie kwa nini wana struggle na 18 minutes, watatuambia tu walikuwa Champions League.
3-0 already if they are a good team.
We are not struggling. I think it was.
But of course, there are 10 points for Southampton, so they're really fighting relegation, but they won't survive.
I don't think we are struggling. I think it was on Wednesday or on Tuesday. It was just a bad day in office. But I think that day God had sent Alisson and told him today, just do your miracles. Because we saw the saves he made. Actually, that game, it was like Kvicha Kvaratskhelia against Liverpool. Because most of the shots that I saw was like Kvicha Kivicha, and then there is that one that was so clear that Dembele, I don't know, at times we hype Dembele, at times we put him underneath there, but I guess that day we really struggled. But thank you to Nunes for the pass he made to Harvey Elliott, and he scored the 1 goal. And I know people are saying that, oh, we won it by luck, but it's still a win. It's the first leg. I mean, we were facing them for the second leg. I don't know how it's gonna be. So I won't say we are through to the semi-final. So we need like to put more effort. I think Ancelotti should come up with something better come the second leg.
Benjamin, your Chelsea team, tomorrow they're playing against Leicester, if I'm not wrong. My team as well.
Yeah, easy win.
Leo tumejaza watu wa nduthi gang hapa ndani.
Wapewe reflector.
Usiongee mbaya. Unajua kuna wanaume watatu hapo. Unaweza tolewa nje sana.
Iko wapi? Hiyo reflector tuko proud kwa.
Tupatie hiyo reflector. But of course chances for Chelsea for actually winning it are over. But do you think, Benja, we have a chance for Champions League?
Yeah, of course.
Looking at our situation inakaa. Alafu huko nyuma venye watu wanakaa.
Yeah, it's competitive. As I said before, from position 2 to number 10, it's highly competitive.
Tight, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think Chelsea has the wherewithal to compete and top 4.
Chelsea 46 points. 46. Newcastle 44 behind them.
That's two.
Brighton nyuma yao 44.
Yeah.
Bournemouth 43. Fulham 43.
Yeah.
Aston Villa 42. Brentford, no, hiyo ni 38 but so.
Yes. So the competition is tight, but I think at the end of the day, Chelsea will emerge.
They will at least have a Champions League. So hakuna mambo ya conference.
Yeah, no conference. That was just a fluke. And after your conference, we are still winning it. And
but you remember there was a time that Chelsea were title contenders, and even the coach was saying, was that a psychological blunder he made by saying that they were not going for the...
Not really. I think it's just he was being factual because, as you see, Chelsea is the youngest squad in the EPL.
Yes.
The average age, I think, is 23. So they don't have the capability to compete with the big boys compared to the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City. So for them, it was the time to build. And this was the season for them to just get the top 4 position. From next season, then we are going to be in the title race.
Wow.
But
that is for sure.
Yes.
Please, nisaidie kidogo. What is better? Is it finishing in the top 4 ama kucheza Conference League na win? Ucheze Champions League
na
utolewe
kama Arsenal.
Asante. Yeah. Ama ucheze Conference League ama Europa League na win. What is better? Kado kanaingia wapi na tunasherehekea wapi na tunaweka nini kwa cupboard? Wacha niite hivyo. Cupboard. Ni wapi wewe unaweza taka? Because honestly, if tutamaliza top 4, I don't think that we can go toe-to-toe with the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona. We can't. Honestly, with the squad please.
Like next season we can.
Next season, yeah, but
next season we can.
But chances za kuwin ama kufika semifinals haziko.
But remember, we are Chelsea.
We are Chelsea.
And Europe.
Of course, we are Chelsea.
Remember, we won the competition just 3 years ago.
But nowadays,
about you,
mnijibu swali lakini.
Because you're being genuine, you're saying we are Chelsea. We cannot.
We are
capital letters.
The reason as to why I'm saying that is because he said it. We are young. We are building. For us, unajua sisi kwa nini hatuumwi? Ni kwa sababu sisi tushakubali. Haiwezi this season. And maybe next season haiwezi. We are building for 2 to 3 years to come.
Yes.
And that is why we signed 40 players na nyinyi mkaona ni mchezo. It's because tunataka kuangalia 4 years to come. Ndio maana tulitumwa wachezaji wengi sana waende on loan. All right? So within 2 years mtashangaa the likes of Drogba watarudi tena Chelsea. People the hazards of this world watarudi Chelsea. Kwa hivyo guys, nyinyi msione hadi sisi tuna hesabu ambayo kidogo lazima tuiwae. Kwanza tukiwin hii Conference League itapatia vijana boost morale. We are not there. And that's why I'm saying sio lazima tumalize top 4. We can go to the European competition, I mean the Europa Cup
and win it.
Or even finish second. We don't have a problem. Kile tunataka ni kuboost wale vijana na turudishe hiyo morale ya team na mashabiki wetu ambao wengine wameenda Liverpool, wengine wameenda kuna wameenda Arsenal, hapana. Kuna wenye wameenda Nottingham na Crystal Palace. I know some of them.
True. Haya, Celine. Liverpool, we are struggling. 0-0 bado, tuko 25 minutes. Mko 0-0.
Game ni 90.
Nasema, haya, sawa. Hizo ni dalili ya mvua ni 0-0.
Hata wakidraw tufikie. 13 points clear. We're just relaxing over there. Lonely at the top.
Haya, hiyo ndio kinetwanga Kiburi FC. Atasumbuana na wao kabisa. I have just a comment here. Hello, Sports Extravaganza, watching the show kama kawa. Tomorrow, Arsenal versus Manchester United is a draw. Licha ya Man U kusuasua, hao jamaa wanasema, hii ni maoni ya mse kwa WhatsApp. Hao jamaa wanasema is no longer a problem. Remind them about FA with 10 players. What happened? Gotea sana Celine, ni Tunalis Mgenge in the building kama kawa watching the show. Asante sana Tunalis.
Wewe jamaa anagotea Celine sisi hajatuona ama
juu ni mwanaume.
Jamaa acha hizo. Sisi hatuko hapa.
Muko msijali msiogope. And then we have anasema Kevin Mukanga. Anasema kwamba ako Machakos locked. Alikuwa anasema ile story ya ndugu yetu pale Boniface Kimanzi ilimbamba kabisa. Wacha tukukimbize. I wanted to speak about just before ama ni turudi kwa Boniface, my good friend. Naweza rudi kwa Boniface atupatie hiyo clips. Sawa, wacha Boniface amesemekana kwamba amemaliza kuongea na wale wangwana. Let me just go back to the fight in the relegation zone. Benjamin, Michael and Celine can weigh in. Southampton have 10 points. Leicester have 17. Ipswich have 18. Wolverhampton have 22. So basically hao ndo wanapambana. Everton wako na 32, so wanaweza survive. Wolves, Ipswich, Leicester City, Southampton.
Wakicheza pia watakuwa drawn into the relegation battle.
Yataja Man U.
Okay, acha tupande juu. Okay, West Ham wako na 33 points. Man U wako na 33 points.
So hiyo
Tottenham wako na 33 points. So kuanzia Tottenham number 13 mpaka 20 are candidates of relegation.
Yeah.
What is your mathematics, Benjamin, there? In terms of if things don't go Manu's way, if Manu loses the next
all the games,
yes, wameenda relegation.
It will be hard because the other teams, Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich, I don't think they have what it requires to compete in the Premier League because they were just promoted the other season. Yeah. I don't think they can compete, and that's the problem with the relegation battle. All the teams coming from Championship, when they come to EPL, they find it's on a different level, so they struggle. That's why Southampton has won, I think, 1 or 2 games the whole season. So it's a relief for Manchester United because the 3 are not going to
really be a serious prayer partner for these other teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa, hivyo ndo kunaenda. Banabi vile unasema before tuende kwa history ya Arsenal na Man U kesho.
Yeah. Mimi na feel
Man U ata survive, Man U wata survive, West Ham wata survive. I mean 33 points ni mingi ukikompare na wenye wako relegation zone na 17 na 18.
Ni mob kweli. But tuanze labda na kichapo kesho, lakini hiyo acha nimesema baadaye. But for me I think ukiangalia unaweza jiuliza kwa nini timu kama Southampton wamepigwa hizo game zote na hata wajafuta coach. That means they are just wao already washamaliza, wanajua they are going back, wanaenda kubuild. Although Manchester United going to the relegation inaweza onekana labda ni noma, but let's give them maybe just 2 wins. Unajua kitu mimi najaribu kusema na kitu mimi I always say even in my own videos. Yeah. It is not about Manchester United kwenda championship. Already mahali penye Man United wako the relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, with the name of Manchester United, you know, wako tu relegation. So it's not about being pale kwa red zone. No, it is The fact that hakuna mtu wa Man U saa hii anaweza simama mahali watu wanaongelelea story ya ball. That is relegation for them. You understand? So tusije tukasema ati twende ama kwa mathematics mob. No, hawataenda kwa red zone. But ile kitu yenye wamefanyiwa, wamefungwa mdomo. Do you know how Man United fans are?
Kiburi.
The kiburi sasa wamemeza. Hawezi toa. Wakikuja wapate mnaongelelea ball, wao wanaleta siasa. Tuanze kuongelea uchumi
na broad base.
Ukisikia mtu analeta hiyo unajua ni wa Man. That's the problem. So hiyo ndio relegation tunaongelelea. But mathematically no. Being honest, hawezi end zone. Wata survive, labda watakuwa relegated next season.
Sports Extravaganza hii. Huyu anajulikana kama Michael Barnabe ambaye ana inject kwa watu wa Red Devils. Anafinya. Jua tayari amenyamazisha Celine. Sasa wajua Celine hawezi pigana watu ya nduthi watatu kwa set. It's very difficult.
Kwa watatu. Sasa mimi niko na nani?
Celine ziwesema wewe ni wa Liverpool. Tetea Liverpool. Ndio uanze kusema Mo Salah si wa Chelsea.
Umesema atakuwa coach. Mimi nitapigwa. Sasa mimi nani atanitetea?
Nimekupatia glove hapo Celine. Make good use of it. Usiweke tu kwa mapaja.
Nikupea pili.
We are taking a very, very, very short break, but we'll be back with more about our predictions in terms of what will be happening tomorrow, Chelsea versus Leicester, and also about our team, Manchester United and Arsenal. They are calling it a very small team, a game according to Barnabe, but we shall try and dissect that and see if it's small or big, and also discuss about the win that we had in Uganda after this very short break.
Download GOtv app and enjoy the variety of sports anytime, anywhere. GOtv app, at the heart of the game.
Welcome back. This is Sports Extravaganza. Tony Kwalanda here, all the way from 4 till now. Of course, we have about 15 or so minutes to wrap up. Yeah, about 15, 16. And I'm in studio, I'm not alone. I have a representative of the International Women's Day and also a staunch Liverpool fan, Celine With. Happy International Women's Day again.
Thank you.
Mbona niangalia nikao nataka kuniambia kitu mbaya?
Nilikuwa tu na kuangalia tu.
Also Michael Barnabe, a football, of course, analyst. We also have Benjamin Kilong, as well as a football analyst here. Wacha sasa tukimbie mbio. Okay, tukiguzia kidogo tukienda kwa Starlets. Tomorrow's game. Anybody can start. Tomorrow's game, mnasema si kubwa, but ni kubwa bwana. Kama kuna musician Kenya alitoa song ya ni gani kali ya Man U, hiyo song, hiyo timu ni kubwa.
Ilikuwa hiyo enzi.
Ilikuwa hiyo enzi. Inakuwa zilizopendwa sasa.
Song bado ina play sasa, iwe ni.
Hapo hiyo badilishe sasa.
Selling that game, how do you see it? That would be an easy win for Arsenal, I'm sure. My own opinion.
Honestly, no. I don't feel like it's going to be an easy win for Arsenal.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we saw, as we played Amorim on the second leg this season, and it was a tough game. Actually, that day Manchester United could have beaten us. So I feel like when it comes to big games, Amorim is like, okay, we have to get a draw or a win. Like, they come in tough, and I don't know what they see in other teams that they don't, what they see in these big teams that they don't see in the other teams. Like when you look, when they play Man City, when they play Liverpool, yes, we beat them in the first leg 3-0, and it was 3-0. Yeah, we beat them 3-0, and then we did draw the second leg. I feel like it was, I don't know, there is something about Amorim that when Man United is playing big teams, it becomes a tough game. But again, we know Arteta, we saw them beat PSV 7. So PSV is typically out of the Champions League, because I don't think they will beat them the 7 that they beat them. So they beat them the 7. But again, let's see what Arteta is doing. Actually, I'm in love with that young boy called Namweri. It's Namweri.
Nwaneri.
Yeah, that guy from Kisii, I guess. Yeah, he's performing well. But let's see. It's going to be a tough game, honestly. I wouldn't say it's going to be an easy win for Arsenal, but they can win the game.
Yeah, Barnabas, seems like Man U normally just turns up for big games.
No, it's not Man U only. It's watu wanaitanga derby, but it's not a derby normally. Okay, because ukiangalia hata geographically hawa watu watoki the same location. Labda ni history tu inawafanya wanakuwa derby. The same unapata mashemeji hapa derby. So it's not Manchester peke yake. Even myself as a coach, I also have a derby tomorrow pale mtaani.
Wapi tuambie tukuje tu watch bana. Mbona unanyamazia derby?
Niko na derby ya team inatoka only 3 kilometers from where I train. I train at Dagoretti High School pale Dagoretti, na niko na team inatoka just inaitwa Kabiria, just 3 kilometers, inaitwa Melta hapo. So na nilipigwa last weekend, but this time it's not about tactics, it is about guys. Wasi
lazima tuwapi,
highways. It is not about sijui no uta move this way, formation iko hivi, no ni ile ya I am in Manchester United uniform. I am a Man United player.
Players who turn up.
And I have to represent this team. No matter whether nimekula jana, sikulipwa, sikufanya nini. And they do it for pride. They do it for pride and to make sure that at least mafans wao pale mtaani, they have a lot to talk about. Kwa mfano kesho Man U ikipigwa na Arsenal, hautaona jezi mtaani. So they just fight for the bragging rights that mkutuweza tulidraw na venye nyinyi mnasema nyinyi ni title contenders, you understand? So wanatengeneza they shape the conversation mtaani. It's not about a big team, big nini. Hata kama Man U okay, lakini tujue tu lazima tuwapigwe whether they like it or not.
Haya. Kilong, of course Kilong has come in. Kuna mchezaji Mason Greenwood, mchezaji of course associated with Manchester United, apparently wants to change, actually has requested for nationality switch
to Spain.
From England actually to Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica. Oh, interesting.
Wow.
The parents, I think the father was raised in that Caribbean nation. So Greenwood will no longer feature for England. Atakuwa anapiga reggae. So kesho kutakuwa na reggae kwa hiyo uwanja na Arsenal na maniaje.
Tomorrow Manchester against Arsenal, or is it Arsenal against Manchester, all the same. It's going to be a boring match. Because Manchester United will come in as underdogs and play a low block. So it will be only Arsenal attacking, and if they get lucky, they will score a corner or a set piece. And so it will be a boring match that will end at most 1-0 for Arsenal or a barren draw. So it's not something I'll be looking up to myself.
That's why I say it's no longer a big,
it's not a big event.
Team.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. So it looks like Man U and Arsenal nowadays. And in fact, I'm sure Arsenal might not even field their A team because they need to rest them ahead of their return leg. And I mean, it will just be a boring game. Actually, most of the... honestly, personally, when I'm watching Man U games, it's boring. I actually sleep. Like a doze off. True. Naamka saa ile unaambiwa wewe uingia kwa kitanda.
Imefika masaa.
Yeah, imefika masaa hebu kuja uchemushe hii duve. But of course Arsenal tomorrow all it's there for them to lose, especially after Man City have just done the useless thing today. Liverpool 0, that's 40 minutes. Southampton 0, Crystal Palace 0, Ipswich Town 0, Brighton 0, Fulham 1, that is 40 minutes. And of course, later on, there are 2 games, Brentford versus Aston Villa, and then the late kickoff, Wolves against Everton. In fact, Wolves against Everton is a big game than Man U.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bigger game.
Musinipige risasi. Wacha tu shift kidogo mbio kwa, I know, namfungue masimu, watu wanasema mpige simu. Kuna jamaa hapa anasema kwamba, Ismail from Garissa, getting you loud and clear. Anasema tuchukue simu zake. Inonda, chukueni simu za watu wa Garissa. Otherwise utapatiwa ID.
Anataka tu kusalimia.
Huyu jamaa mwingine anasema praise the Lord, anaitwa Douglas all the way, Douglas Musoba from Machakos. Anasema kwamba game ya kesho Manchester United 2 Arsenal 1.
Toka hapo.
Umeambiwa na Batabu utoke hapo. Wacha tutoke hapa kwa hii EPL. Wacha tuingie kwa Junior Starlets. Junior Starlets, I'll give the honor to Celine. Junior Starlets 2-0. Na niko na dakika 5. Edina Nasipuondi scored one of the goals. Joan Ogola akamaliza hiyo maneno 2-0, beating Uganda in a World Cup qualifier game for our under 17.
I think first of all, I'm proud of Mildred Cheche because she has proven herself since the last time we qualified for World Cup, even though we were in it was a tough group, honestly, that was a tough group. But the fact that she actually managed to take the girls up to the World Cup, it was such a big achievement. And her getting the win, it was clear she's going to get the win. Because I've seen people ranting Twitter about Baldin, and they want like Cheche to go like and fill up the position of Baldin or Demba in the senior team, and I'm like, I think Cheche is doing so much well when it comes to the young girls. Remember, these are the girls that we see in Butere girls in those old school games, and they're actually doing well. I really hope they maintain and we actually go to another World Cup back to back, because I think in as much as Kipchoge is saying all these things is all about participation. It matters. So yeah, I feel like I think Mildred Cheche is really doing well. But again, the pressure is always there. So I feel like in as much as people want to pressure the coaches to do this and this, I think they should just let them be. And maybe if it's a case of Matasi and the Cameroon game, now we can come up and say, oh, ni. So I feel like it was a good win for both ladies and the other gender.
Banabe, for you, Cheche, last year, of course, not a good show in Dominican, but now here again, looks like he has a good chance again to take us to the World Cup.
First of all, congrats sana kwa Cheche na team, kwa sababu it wasn't easy, but I think they were just trying to emulate what their senior team did, resilience and fight. Going to your neighbors, get 3 points, sio mchezo. But there is something in football, Tony, we always try to define it. Look, when you're meeting, maybe when you're number 17 kwa table and you're meeting a number 1, there's always something that, come on, tunacheza na number 1. So Uganda were playing guys wenye walicheza in World Cup. So definitely kulikuwa tu psychologically kulikuwa na something kauoga kidogo kwamba hawa ni heavyweights. So pia hiyo huwa ina play a part in football. And that I think Mildred aliwaambia tu jamaa, hatuwezi toka World Cup tukuje kuaibika hapa. Nyinyi ni master. You have to tell them that come on, msikubali. So ukiangalia ni lot of motivation and I think kwa upande wa wanadada we are getting it right.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu kama seniors ilifanyika vile na tukawapatia pressure and they came back. Sasa tuko na under 17 ambayo tunajua within 2 to 3 years pia tutakuwa na refillers ama tutawaita hivyo, tutakuwa na mahali tunatoa. So it is a positive thing for us as Kenyans, especially kwa upande wa football ya kina dada.
Yeah, of course, Benjamin, I'm sure you can want to weigh on our ladies, at least on International Women's Day.
Yeah, congratulations to them. Good job. Is Uganda versus Kenya a derby? Like
East Africa derby. Uganda, Kenya is a derby.
It's a derby, right? So thank you for the girls for putting us in a good position.
Yes.
Bragging rights are always important in football. So congratulations to them.
Wonderful. Nice. As we wind up, niko na dakika moja pekee. Each of you 25 seconds. Anything that you'd like to say, where you can be found, social media, unafanya 20 exact. Celine.
For me, I'm just saying Team Ferrari, we're winning. Formula 1 is back.
Australian GP.
Yeah. My boys, Charles and Lewis, don't let me down. And you can find me anywhere at Celine Waithera. Yeah.
Yep, on social media. Barnabe.
Thank you so much, Tony. Mimi nitaongelelea timu yangu. Mimi head coach Mseto FC, tuko County League, tunacheza County League. By the way, sisi ndio tuna lead after match day 4, tuna lead table. Au ni senior team, niko pia na watoto wadogo, tuna train hapo Dagoretti High, na sasa hivi tuko na watoto kutoka miaka 7 mpaka miaka 15. We prioritize sana kuwapatia qualified coaches, kwa sababu sisi hata tunaambianga wazazi hapa amkuji ili watoto wa pastime, tunakuja kuwafunza football because we think and we know that these boys can do it. So yeyote ambaye anataka labda mtoto wake aweze kujifunza football, anaweza kutufikia tu pale like 3 kilometers from Kawangware. Unajua sasa hiyo ndio inajulikana sana, but tuko Dagoretti High School na hiyo ni powerhouse ya football. So you understand infrastructure, security ya mtoto wako, kila kitu iko poa pale. Unaweza kutufikia on Twitter at Bar Prince Kenya, tafadhali fika, ama at Mseto_FC, utatupata.
Safi. Benja.
Just to wind up, happy to be on the show, and you can find me on Twitter or on X, Benji Shields. I talk about football, especially European football.
Wonderful. Thank you, Benjamin Kilong. Thank you, Michael Barnabe. And thank you, Celine, for really making time. Sijui mbona mjaboksiana hiyo kitu, ama unaogopa kuingiza mkono ndani? Wanatafuta entrance.
Simama tu hapa.
Nataka sasa.
Moja tu.
Thank you very much for watching this particular show. On behalf of the entire team, producer Stanley Nyaringita, Boniface Kimanzi, the crew, of course, led by my good friend Emmanuel Inonda, graphics team, Babu, and the rest, of course, Jane. And, of course, on behalf of the entire Cape Media, we appreciate that you're watching. Up next is the latest in the world of news in Kiswahili. From us, bye. La la la.